Perfect. Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. Number one sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies in the vets, players you should look at. It's the sports coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the sports coma, all we know is say Super Bowl. Yeah.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
In your mind, when you think back on your 2 years with him as a teammate?
Shoot, Teddy, that's my dog. He just had a calmness about him. I think made him likable. I mean, he was a locker room guy. He was just calm, always calm, cool Teddy.
Next one's from Amy Just.
Yeah, with the bye week falling just a little earlier than normal this year, how do y'all feel coming out of that?
I feel like we just had a bye week and we back playing.
I just didn't know if there was a difference between having it week 6 versus week 10 or 12 or whatever.
I mean, you said it's just a little bit earlier, but I mean, it don't change what we got to do.
Next one's from Caroline Gonzalez.
Hey, Alvin, I know you try to approach every game the same way, but obviously with the Panthers' rushing defense ranked 31st in the league, are you licking your fingers a little bit more this week?
Yeah, I mean, every week we going, I mean, that's my message in the running back room to, try to kind of make the game go through us. But, this week, obviously, where they're ranked at, we know we got opportunity. We still got to take advantage of the opportunity. We still got to make the right reads, and Sean knows he has to call the right plays at the right time. So, it's a team effort, so hopefully we do what we got to do. We're having good practices, so that's our plan on Sunday.
Thanks. Next one's from Luke Johnson.
Teddy was saying the other day that he kind of rediscovered fun here. After that injury. You brought up that he's this calm, kind of cool guy, but was he also just kind of clown around in the locker room, all that sort of stuff? How would you kind of describe him there?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he definitely has a certain energy about him. like when I say calm and cool, I just like, I think the way he approaches like the job, he just it's never like the moment is never too big for him. Like now, having fun, he always had fun. Like it was never a moment where he was like down in the dumps about something or like, let the game get to him. If it was a mistake, I mean, he's gonna keep moving. He stays calm and he definitely has fun with everything he does.
I know you guys are typically just like happy whenever guys get rewarded with teammates get rewarded with big contracts and stuff, but like especially for somebody like Teddy who had that big injury, and people had to kind of take a chance on him after that. How rewarding was it for you to see him get that?
Man, I loved it. He got everything he deserved. It was all meant for him. I think Teddy's the type of dude. He kind of just stayed true to himself, and he believed, and he knew that as long as he controlled what he could control, it would come to him. So, I mean, that's what he got. And, I'm definitely proud of him. Just being a teammate, a past teammate, definitely proud of him.
Next one's from Amos Morano.
Yeah,
Last question.
Having some good practices. I was wondering, what's an example or, what kind of makes a practice good for you guys?
I mean, just executing the small details that we installed throughout the week. The periods going how they should. No repeats, no mental errors, no mistakes. Just things flowing smoothly, and we feel good. I mean, it's like one of them feelings you get, like it was a good period or a good rack of plays, and overall it's a good practice, a good day of practice. So we've been having good practices.
You talk about layup questions. I mean, seriously. real easy layup questions, man. I tell you, man, thank goodness most of the great Saint Think Tank family members are not questioning the rest of these players and these staffs. 'Cause I'm going to be honest with you. Those, you talk about some layup-ass questions. I mean, finger roll, George Gervin-ass questions. I mean, good grief, man. Big ups to the family members chiming in the live stream. Who that to using yours on this excellent episode of the Sports Coma coming in on the Thursday. Big ups to the rest of the family members chiming in the live stream. Much love to you and Yearn on this edition of the Sports Coma. Big ups to the family members in TSC named Can't Guard Mike DMP'd. Today, don't fret about it. It's just Thursday. We'll see what the rest of what tomorrow looks like as we head into the game. Of course, Friday will be a big game, a big day to see what happens with Mike, as he had hamstring. He had a high ankle injury, and then all of a sudden hamstring popped up on there. So they're not taking any chances, man. And I know Mike has to be frustrated. Hopefully he doesn't punch another defensive back unless it's Marcus Williams. Anyway, big ups to the rest of the family members live stream. Q, why you want him to punch my knock some sense into his ass? Or whatever sense. It's going to either work one or two ways. Either he going to knock some sense into him or knock whatever little sense he have out of him. Anyway, big ups to the rest of the family members in the live stream. Big ups to you. And welcome, welcome, welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports family. I'm Big Q, your host. You are the great Saint Think Tank, the home of the best and brightest, bravest, and most loyal, dedicated black and gold family members in this hemisphere. Big ups to you. I salute you. I salute all of the great Sports Coma family members across the world. And big ups to all the family members chiming in all over the place. We're going to start it off giving shout out to GM Kev. What up, GM Kev in the building? Big ups to you, Brother Jerry. What's going on, Brother Jerry? Big ups to you. Brian, who that to you? Brian Pearson in the building. Big ups to you, my friend. Tori Shepard, who that to you? Tori, who that? Deputy Mario, who that to you, my friend? Good to see you in the chat. Tyra, what's up, baby? Who that to you? Brother Tramal, who that to you? Hey, 642, who that to you? Big ups to you. Phila Throdox, who that to you? Big ups as well. And who else we got there chiming in there? Let's see. Gundam, what up, Gundam? Big ups to my man Gundam chiming in the chat as well. Big ups, fam. Much love to you and Yearns. And Trey Joseph, I see you, Trey Joseph. Who that to your family? Caution, what up, Caution? Big ups to you. Troy Thompson, who that to you, fam? Good to see you. Devin C in the building. Who that to you? Teal, my dog Teal in the building. Who that to you? Teal. Good to see you, fam. and the rest of the family. Kai the Great, what up, fam? Good to see Kai in the building. Big ups to your family as well, and the rest of the family members. BC Lewis, what up, fam? What up, BC? How you doing, my fam? Welcome to the live stream today. Thank you for joining us here. And if I didn't give you a shout out, give me a who dat, and I give you a who dat back. You know, I gotta acknowledge all of the great Saint Think Tank family members. That's how we do here. We don't treat you like ESPN, that you lucky to be in the building while they talking about sports. Who the hell is they? Who are you? Daryl Hatcher, who that to you, bro? Good to see you in the chat as well. And family, on this edition of the show, we're going to go over a few news notes and items of the Saints today. And we're going to talk about some things today, fam. So first of all, I thank you guys for joining us on the show as Mr. Kamara brought us into the live stream. And of course, Kamara talked about Sean Payton calling the right plays at the right time. Amen to that. Let's get it. Let's just give a young brother some credit where credit is due. When he says something truthful, you got to stand and back it. Big ups to him. Jared Slack, who that to you, Jared? Good to see you in the chat, fam. Welcome in. And that's the thing we talking about, man, like with Sean Payton, calling the plays at the right time, because like we talked about on the prior show, you can't have Sean Payton running around there calling ridiculous plays. Remember, he's playing up against this offense is going against the Carolina Panthers offense. And remember, the Carolina Panthers offense is a cheap knockoff, an imitation of the Saints offense. It'll be totally inappropriate, and I mean really inappropriate, for the Saints to lose this game against this clone-ass offense. You are the originator of that offense, and you cannot allow a clone of you to beat you. And look at Carolina's attack. Looks good because they're balanced. They actually believe in running the ball to create the balance. Now, of course, they without Christian McCaffrey, but they stuck to it with Mike Davis as the back, and he's doing very well. But that's what the offense, and we all know what it looks like when you're disciplined and you stick to the running attack and balance the pass off the back of the run. I thought that's why we had 4 active running backs on the active roster. For them to carry the team in terms of the running attack and give Drew Brees an opportunity to kind of work the play action after the run is established, which will work for the Saints, being that the Saints are known as a passing team. Well, if we can fool them and become a running team, we can become a lot more dangerous. Who that to you, Nola East, 74, big ups, fam. He said, I think MT getting back at Sean Payton. I don't think he hurt. We'll see, bro. I don't think Mike has the patience for that kind of plan. But thank you, bro. Appreciate the comment. Who that to you, Jawan Mead, who that, fam? Good to see you in the chat as well. Big ups to the rest of the family members as we keep rolling this thing. But that what it come down to. Sean Payton cannot let the Carolina Panthers clone-ass offense beat them. They can't do it. And the crazy part about it is they knew what they were doing when they was building that Carolina attack. They didn't get a rookie quarterback that wasn't familiar with it. They went and got Teddy Bridgewater, who had 2 years of education behind Drew Brees. He's already a heady guy, too. Teddy's very intelligent, and he's picked up the offense, and he's done pretty damn well in Carolina. He's got the confidence of a starting quarterback. He has a running attack, and wide receivers are good as well. They're not name brand players, but Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore, these are phenomenal, fantastic wide receivers that have not made it to your local name store yet. They're not big names just of yet, but they will definitely tear you up if you let them. But we're going to say that for the Friday show when we go into an in-depth breakdown about the depth charts, the statistics. We'll go over the Friday injury report. All that'll be tomorrow on the Friday show. We'll also open up the phone lines on Friday as well. So today, family, as we get done with the show, I got an announcement that we're going to make about some of the stuff that I told you guys we've been working on. I'm going to share some of it with you at the summation of today's broadcast. But anyway, big ups to the rest of the family members. Jarrell Bledsoe checking in from Shreveport. S-Port in the building. What up, fam? Good to see you, Jarrell. Who that to you, fam? Sleepyhead says, if we end up losing this game, Bucks win, there'll be 2 wins ahead, and we can surely say bye-bye to winning the division. Bucks have a cake, schedule, man. I got you, bro. And you make a point, bro. We got to stay on their heels until we face them. Now, it'll be 3 weeks before we get a hold to them. It'll be 3 weeks. You have to take care of Carolina at home. Then you have 2 away games. You got the Bears behind that, and then you have Tampa Bay to close out the year. So won't be too long. You have to wait for that that meeting. Okula, what up, Okula? Big ups to you, fam. Good to see you in the building, my man. Appreciate you. But that's what it's all about, family, on this edition. We're going to jump right into it momentarily, but I just wanted to give you guys a shout out and some love straight up from myself, and thank you guys for being here with us. So momentarily, allow me, I'll share the screen, and we'll jump right into this injury report. And this is the injury report. We break it down, family, and look at it. As this Thursday injury reports, Janoris Jenkins fully practicing, which is a good sign. The Jackrabbit coming back there, giving some stability to the cornerback position, which is a positive. Love it. Absolutely love it. And, of course, you're dealing with Deontay Harris, who's fully practicing. He's back from the hammy. It's good to see young Deontay being back in the fold. That makes us a little bit deeper. But, a slight question is, now that you know in part what Marquez Callaway is, does that then, give him more light in the wide receiver room? And do we then say we're going to hold Deontay to just the kick returning and punt returning duties now that we see Marquez Callaway there? Now, we might not see Callaway as much as we like, because if Mike is ready to go for Carolina, then that, of course, will push somebody further down on the depth chart. But we know that, it'll either be Marquez or it'll either be Deontay Harris, who we won't see involved in that wide receiver core. And sadly enough, I think it might be Callaway. But as you see what Callaway can do, maybe we can then keep Deontay Harris to the punt return, kick and return duties. We know we like his speed and explosiveness, but we need to get Callaway going. You'll see Traquan Smith, who has that new talent, who did very well in absence of Mike Thomas. He did very well there, and he has that new refined confidence that I can play this game. So he'll be more of an effective force in the wide receiver room, we hope. And then there's also the prospect of what happens with Taysom Hill. Does he finally get going? Because in this stretch of games, the next 4 games, we're going to definitely need his impact. Hopefully Sean Payton can balance his playbook in the RPO package where he throws the ball a lot more than what he running the ball. We'll have to see it. And I can't believe Sean Payton have a problem with letting Taysom Hill throw as much as he loved to throw the damn ball. All right, next one. We got Justin Hardy, who looks like he's on his way back from a hamstring. Well, actually, he's limited there as well, still suffering from that hamstring. A hamstring is no joke. And then, of course, we had Mike Thomas, who was limited in Wednesday. Then they shut him down, meaning he was DNP'd today with hamstring issues, which is not a good sign when you're limited. Then they DNP you. Friday will tell you all you need to know if Mike will be playing. He just got off the ankle issues, and then he having hammy problems. That's problematic. But we are okay at the wide receiver position if Mike can't go, even though we'd love to see Mike in the Carolina game. We don't necessarily need him in there to beat Carolina. We really don't. But I would like to have him back by Chicago and into the rest of the season, because the Chicago game is going to be a big game up there in Chi-Town. And, of course, going to Tampa Bay, you want to have him ready for those games. I don't think we will need him for the Carolina game. Matter of fact, I know we don't need Mike Thomas to beat Carolina, but I would like to have him for the Chicago in the rest of the way. Also, good news on the front about Teron Armstead. He had a hand situation. He did not practice Wednesday. Then he was limited. Hopefully, Mike Thomas' situation will be that in reverse. But big Teron Armstead, DNP Wednesday, limited practice Thursday. We'll see what it looks like Friday. Nick Easton, back-to-back DNP'd. Nick Easton had a concussion. He's DNP'd, and he's in the protocol, that concussion protocol. And who knows if he'll be ready for this upcoming game. He might very well miss this game in the game. So, and like Bob Rose from Sports Saints News Network, Sports Illustrated, was telling me, he said he's betting that Ruiz starts the rest of the way, coming out Dubai as the starter. So we'll see how that goes as well. And I like that prediction. Okay, and then Benny Fowler, another wide receiver dealing with shoulder problems. He was shut down Wednesday and Thursday. And, of course, special teams ace J.T. Gray, dealing with hamstring issues. He did not practice and was limited. So we got two special team aces, Justin Hardy and both JT Gray. Fantastic special team players are both ailing from the same injury, which is a hamstring, and both are in a limited practice mode. So it'll be interesting, and that's impactful too. You have both of your aces, both JT Gray and Justin Hardy, laying up on the injury report, or are they dealing with their limited? Hopefully, we'll see how that shakes. But that hamstring is no issue, and we've seen several players, as you can see, Gray, Hardy, and Harris, and Michael Thomas all dealing with the hamstring issue. All right, let's move on down to the Carolina Panthers side of things. Eli Apple's dealing with a hamstring issue, but he fully practiced Wednesday and Thursday. Trenton Cannon, the running back, is fully practiced. Mike Davis, who was their starting running back, who's done a terrific job in the absence of McCaffrey, who won't play this game, by the way. He fully practiced. Deontay Jackson, former LSU cornerback Deontay Jackson, who used to get cooked and toasted with LSU. You know, he had this superstar mentality, but he used to get cooked and toasted at LSU. And he developing all right. He had the size and the speed, but he kind of reminded me of a better version of Devontae Harris. You know, but you know, he's pulling his stuff together over there. Zach Kerr, the defensive tackle's limited. You had John Miller, the guard. He was limited Wednesday, did not practice today. Curtis Samuel, who's their speedster, is dealing with knee issues. He was limited both in Wednesday and Thursday. Watch out for that kid. They use him as a wide receiver, as a running back. They fit him in anywhere they can. And, of course, big cornerback Rasul Douglas, he was DNP'd because his designation says not injury related. Might be parental or whatever, or private family matters or whatnot. But going back over that practice, this stuff, the Saints injury report, it's better. A lot better. Janoris Jenkins, that's good news. Deontay Harris, that's good news. Teron Armstead, that's good news. And, of course, everybody looking at Mike being DNP. We don't necessarily need Mike for the Carolina Panthers game, fam. So I wouldn't, lose my head about that. Who that to you? Shedrick. Good to see Shedrick Mosley in the building. Big ups to you. William Dickerson, what up, Will? Good to see you in the chat as well. Big ups to the family members joining us in the live stream. Big ups to you and Yearn on this edition. Now, like I said, fam, JT, who that to you? JT, good to see you, brother. Big ups to you. Thank you for joining the show, my man. KB, who that to you? KB. Lionel, what's up, fam? Lionel in the building. Lionel Williams, who that to you, fam? Good to see you. Derek Tyler, who that to you, fam? Much love to you and the family. As the family members chiming in, please hit the like button, my friends. Please hit the like button. Helps us out as we keep it moving. All right, we're going to go on to the next item. We're going to talk about this here thing here. Saints, a ticket to Saints Panthers. Dozens pop up for sale. Many listed $600 and higher. I had to drop that nugget in here. What would it take to be one of the 3,000 fans in attendance when the Saints face off with the Panthers in Week 7? Starts with a mass and some cash to burn. After games without fans at the Superdome, weeks of negotiations between the city and team officials, the mayor agreed to a compromise that would begin with a small total of seats available to be filled for Sunday's game against the Panthers. The team hasn't yet released specifics regarding how the tickets would be doled out, but a share of them have already begun to crop up on ticket resellers, including StubHub, SeatGeek, and the rest of them. The seats are located at various points throughout the Superdome lower bowl, but all have one thing in common: they won't come cheap. As of Wednesday evening, the largest selection could be found at SeatGeek, 125 tickets listed, 305 or more per seat. Game Time had 11 tickets listed at $394. Then there were 35 tickets available on Vivid Seats at $335, and StubHub had them at a whopping $450 a piece. The most expensive listing came in row 34 of section 142, overlooking the 50-yard line from well beyond the Saints bench. 22 of the tickets listed on SeatGeek were set at $600 or more. Considering the unprecedented circumstances, and small allotment prices could swing significantly in the days leading up to the game. 172 tickets listed only represents 5.7% of those doled out for the game. So it's a pricey ticket, no doubt about it. The capacity for the attendance could potentially increase to 6,000, eventually 15,000, but remains contingent upon impacts from the ongoing C virus pandemic And y'all know how I feel about that. I don't have to keep beating that dead horse, but we know what it's about. The Saints have an initial pitch plan that will call for 35% capacity, which would be equal to roughly 26,000 fans. The team had been in talks with LSU over the potential playing home games at Tiger Stadium, where 25,000 fans were allowed in attendance for the long home game this season. The Saints are 19th in NFL team to allow more than a handful of people at the games. There were several hundred friends and families allowed in Week 3 against Packers, Week 5 against the Chargers. They say Aaron Rodgers stood on the field after the team went and said the atmosphere was much more comfortable to play in than it had been in the previous 2 visits. Of course, ain't nothing there but fake noise. Of course, it's more comfortable. But the noise is only a part of it. You got to bring your A game too. If you're the Saints, you can't worry about crowd noise. You got to sack the quarterback. You got to make tackles, and you got to get interceptions and turnovers. That don't change it. All right, let's move on to the next event. This coming from our good friends at Saints News Network. Saints players with the most to prove coming out of the next bye. And of course, we'll talk about this article as well and get into it. All right, New Orleans Saints have been an interesting team in 2020. To say the least, this was a team heavily favored and considered a legitimate Super Bowl contender after going, let me kind of highlight it so the fans can see it better. Family can see it a little bit better. Going into the season and got things off to a great start. However, the 2 straight ugly weeks after such a big season opening win revealed a lot of concerns, while the past 2 victories haven't exactly boosted confidence in them. Sitting at 3-2, Peyton's team is one you shouldn't count out or write off with a ton of season left. Those teams that started the hottest are not necessarily the ones who will be playing in the postseason, as we've seen over the years. What we do know is the current play isn't good enough, and we just lead to an early exit in January anyways. To help the Saints get where they need to go, here's a few players who need to prove something out of the bye week. And of course, the writer has Taysom Hill listed at the top of it, and a lot of people say, you damn right. Taysom Hill, the top man. The season hasn't been that great for Hill, but he might have found the spark needed against the Chargers. Hill's utilized has been questionable at times, as many have wondered why take Drew off the field when he's clearly finding success in the passing game. Hill is still playing a good bit in games, roughly 25% offensive snaps for about 84 snaps and nearly 28% of special team snaps. With 43, he should find his groove, but we want to see some better decision-making from Hill going forward. How about some better decision-making from Sean Payton going forward, who will keep rolling this guy out there, busting the offense up? All right, let's look at Davenport here. He's the next man listed, and you're absolutely right on him. I agree wholeheartedly. It's difficult for Davenport to get on the field this season, first struggling with elbow injury after rehabbing from off-season foot surgery, then finding himself dealing with a toe injury. While he didn't play in the first 4 games, we did get to see him against the Chargers for 21 snaps, 30%. He was wearing a big brace on his elbow, actually made some good plays, and was moving well. The Saints need Davenport in the pass rush attack, and a good showing against the Panthers could win more back to his side, period. Yeah, staying on the field can win people back to his side. The secondary. It's true. It's not fair just to call out one player when there's been so much that's broken down in secondary. But Lattimore, Williams, Jenkins have to get it together back there. Jenkins was brought in to help improve, upgrade things, but it's been a mess through the first several games. Lattimore has not looked like himself, and has played like someone who should get a lucrative contract from the Saints. And Williams has at decent times has been decent at best. I wouldn't even say that much. The team got fined with subs over the past 2 weeks, but it's the big plays and communication breakdowns that have to stop. It's okay to give up yards, but getting off the field when it counts is what's needed. Without a collapse in the secondary, hopefully the bye week did them some good to help them get some things cleared up. Getting Jenkins back on the field can help here. He's certainly on the right path, being a full participant during Wendy's practice. That's the secondary. And then, of course, his final statement, he mentions Andrews Pete. Pete battling through what was deemed to be a very serious high ankle sprain that saw him carted off the field against the Packers. Against the run, Pete has been pretty good. However, his pass blocking grade of 53.2 ranks 54th out of 73 interior guards on PFF. And I don't know what kind of stuff. Remember, that's why I don't give PFF no credit. A lot of people like to quote them like they some type of resource, and they have some good information. But I don't care what you say. If you put up a chart saying that Marcus Williams is the best safety And Greg, what kind of we know that's a lie. You looking at statistics, say, well, the numbers say, I don't give a goddamn what the numbers say. I'm looking at what I'm seeing, and that kid is not the best. Remember when they said that? So I mean, when they say that, they totally discredited to me. Pete has potential, and there's a reason why the Saints gave him such a lucrative contract in the offseason, but he has yet to show it was a full game this year. He has a lot of critics to silence. He don't have no critics to silence, in my opinion. Andrews Pete he's been here for 4 years. He plays several positions. And that's why the Saints paid him, because when Teron Armstead gets ready to leave and they make the move and shift Ryan Ramczyk to left tackle, Andrews Pete they can move Pete to outside and put him at they can move Pete around whatever they need. They know that he can play several positions. He can play the other tackle position. So let's say, when Teron Armstead gets out of the way and they want to save some money, they can shift Ramczyk, and when he gets paid, to blind side of the quarterback, the blind side of the quarterback, move Pete to right tackle. They can do whatever they want with Pete. Pete already got the contract. He got the money. They already done settled in and gave him the 57.5 mil or whatever it is. He already got it. He unsilenced the critics. They done paid him the cake. So I don't necessarily agree with the writer on that one. Who is this guy? John Hendricks. Okay. All right, let's move to the next one right here. And this is coming from Saints Wire, and it's also talking about the Saints released the depth chart for Week 7. And they have been kind of slow on the release with these depth charts, and this is the most current one they put out as of recent. The newest edition of the Saints depth chart has been published by the team, but as always, you got to take it with a grain of salt, because they just throw some stuff out there and do all kind of different stuff. You look at the offense, 26 players. You see how it lays out. It's pretty much the same. We see Ruiz at the right guard position. We know that. Pretty much the same everywhere else. Josh Hill at fullback. I remember when Sean Payton was asked by the reporter about that, he said that don't really look too much into Josh Hill at the fullback position, although I don't think that's a bad idea. I think Josh Hill, I said Dwayne Washington should be the fullback. Burton just is not that guy. He's not that guy. I've said that. Burton is not that guy. I would look for a better fullback, or use a running back who has fullback type tendencies. Dwayne Washington. But anyway, Josh Hill listed as the fullback. Behind him, you see Fowler's there. Hurst is behind Armstead. Kelly is behind Andrews Pete. I don't know how much you could take from this. Ethan Greenwich might not see much time he looked terrible in the one little shot he got. Hopefully he looks better. But of course, James Hurst is a guy you got to know that's going to get opportunities as the backup offensive tackle and guard positions, especially if Easton is in concussion protocol. And then, of course, behind Cook, there's Troutman, Traquan's there, Deontay Harris, Taysom Hill, Winston, Latavius, and Dwayne, Marquez Callaway there. Of course, and then we look at the defense with 24 people. 24 people. We need to take 2 people off the offense and put them on defense. Who would you take? Okay, we'll take Derek Kelly off. You take him out of there because Hurst can play either tackle or guard. You got Ruiz, you got Nick Easton that can play either center or guard. You keep Hendricks. So Ethan Greenwich there. So you move Kelly off of there, take Kelly off of there, and get rid of Burton because you ain't using him anyway. Maybe we could take Burton off of there and use Dwayne Washington as a fullback, or Josh Hill at the fullback, because Burton ain't doing nothing. So if we could take 2 people, say, Q, why would you take 2 off the offense and put them on the defense? Because if Sean Payton is not going to stick to the run, you're going to need that extra personnel on the defense. So we take 2, deactivate Kelly, deactivate Burton, use Hill or Washington as a fullback, and slide them 2 spots and put 26 guys on this goddamn defense. Why, Q? Because you're going to need it. You're going to need perhaps another 2 interior linemen. Then you're going to need another pass rush. You're going to need another lineman to play. Because I don't want to deactivate Malcolm Roach, Shy Tuttle, or Malcolm Brown. I want all those guys to play. And I also think we need to activate another cornerback. We wouldn't have, open up some spots in a secondary, because when guys get burnt, you won't be able to pull them guys out there and give other guys an opportunity to play. And I don't think it'll hurt the Saints to have another spot for another defensive lineman to play there as well, just in case you have those long games where you have those extra 2 guys you can cycle in there to help you, because the defense is tired. Because Sean Payton refuses to run the ball and he won't throw it another 40 plus times. So I'm for having those extra spots on the defense. I've said that before. All right, let's look at some of the observations. Well, actually, let's run down the list before we get to the observations. Davenport, Hendrickson, Brown, Malcolm Roach, Shy Tuttle. Do you see David Onyemata and Sheldon Rankins there with Cam and Granderson? The same stuff. And then you look at the Sam, the strong linebacker position with Ellis and then Zach Bond behind him. Jenkins, Laddie Daddy. Then you see Justin Hardy, Robinson, Crawley. It's on that roster with JT Gray, Swearinger, and PJ Williams. 3 guys I would literally get rid of if I ran a team would be, I would get rid of Ken Crawley. He'd be out of here. I would get rid of PJ Williams, and I'll get rid of Patrick Robinson. And I will go out and find or trade for talent that can come. Matter of fact, I'll use one of those slots for Keith Washington. I would activate Keith Washington, bring him on the squad, and I'll find me 2 veterans that can go here that's better than Crawley and PJ Williams. I'm just keeping it real with you. And Marcus Hunt, let's look at some observation. Hunt is out. Crawley's in. The Saints tweaked the roster just before kickoff week 5 with the Chargers. Hunt was in and out, got tired of that. Said, you know what? I'm out of here. He signed back with the Cincinnati Bengals this past week, just in case people won't know where is Marcus Hunt on the team. Marcus Hunt is no longer on the team. When the Saints released him the last time, he said, you know what? Enough the hell with this. And he signed back with the Bengals. So no more Marcus Hunt. He's out of here. Okay? So he's done. Davenport is still ranked above Hendrickson, and he should be, but his spots should be split with Trey Hendrickson, so they both are fresh. You see what I'm saying? Until Davenport is worked slowly back in there over a period of games before his count get where it's supposed to be. And of course, it said Davenport's continuing to work his way back from a couple injuries. He locked 21 snaps in the last game, so we should see an increase maybe to 30. Ultimately, kind of slowly giving him that reps, but the bulk of the labor should go to Trey Hendrickson. Even though Davenport started, you should still see more Hendrickson than Davenport, except when they come out with those NASCAR packages. And Carl Granderson, he got to wake up. I haven't seen Carl Granderson. Granderson literally is disappeared. He needs to wake up. He went to hibernation early. He needs to wake the hell up. David Onyemata and Sheldon Rankins listed as co-starters at the tackle, and that's a powerful tandem with Onyemata and Rankins. Of course, Brown, who gives you a traditional nose tackle in the Saints run front, but and they do use them that way, but when they need a push, they put those 2 big suckers in there together because David Onyemata is unblockable one-on-one, and Sheldon Rankins is getting to that position, that point where he's back to that level once again. So I love that as well. And then Caden Ellis is still designated as the linebacker ahead of Zach Bowen. Some kind of way down the line, I'm expecting that to shift a bit because Zach Bowen, they're going to want to see more of him. But of course, I don't think that really matters that much, being that the Saints play more nickel than they do anything else. They play that modified nickel. They very rarely play the 4-3 defense, maybe less than 5 times in a game, because they're trying to match personnel with the offenses they're playing. And most of the times these offenses come out in 3 wide receiver looks, and you don't want to be in a mismatch. Unless you have a Mark Barron type linebacker that can cover the wide receiver. You see what I'm saying? But of course, we don't have such a player. But, that's interesting as well. So if you look at the special teams, still stuff there. Morstead, Lutz, Zach Wood, nothing different. Deontay Harris, and of course, behind him, Kamara, Taysom Hill. We know Marquez Callaway is the key backup kick returner and punt returner there. All right, so that's the roster right there, family. And that's what I said I would do. I would shift off 2 of these positions off the offense. They're not going to play Derek Kelly. Come on. And Michael Burton doesn't play a lot anyway. So why not use Josh Hill at the fullback position or Dwayne Washington, like I kept saying early on? Slide those 2 spots to the defense where you're going to need an extra defensive lineman or 2. How about 2 more extra linemen to help out with the run and the pass ratio? I love that. I think that's a terrific idea. That way, when Sean Payton gets sloppy and won't throw the ball twice as much as he run the ball, then you'll have defensive components in place that can stay rested to deal with that type of foolishness. But anyway, let's go on to the final story right there. As well as we keep moving, Saints signed veteran defensive end Will Clark. Who? That's right, Saints signed. So we lose out on Marcus Hunt, and the Saints then turn around and sign defensive end Will Clark to the practice squad. And who is Will Clark, you might add? Well, let's look at him. New Orleans Saints signed veteran defensive lineman Will Clark to the practice squad Thursday. Clark, a 3rd-round pick out of Cincinnati in 2014, has appeared in 53 games and recorded 7 sacks in his NFL career. He last appeared with the Bucs in 2018, playing 3 games. He spent the 2019 season out of football, but signed with the Detroit Lions this past summer. Clark did not appear in any game with Detroit before he was released in September. So there you go. You got a former 3rd-round pick back in 2014 who appeared in 53 games. He had 7 sacks in his NFL career, and he last played with Tampa in 2018 when he played 3 games. Didn't play any football so far this year, but at least he's a veteran with some type of experience and a high 3rd-round pick. So Will Clark is the guy. Welcome Will Clark to the team. No, he's not Cameron Wake. No, he's not anybody else that you thought that the Saints should have gotten or went out and at least made an offer for. I like Golden. I thought Marcus Golden was a guy the Saints could have made an offer for. But, his contract reverted back to the Giants during free agency, before free agency went out. Before the contract situation went out, and he reverted back to control of the team. But this guy, will he help us? He's a veteran. He has some experience, but can he help the Saints? Will he be able to help the Saints? That's the question. And we also have, don't forget, on your practice squad, you got this guy on there now. You got Anthony Zattel, who's another defensive end that's there. Who? You got Will Clark, you got Zattel, and then you got Willoughby on the practice squad. None of these guys, could they really help the team? I don't know, man. I don't know. I severely doubt it. Now, maybe they could. If the Saints were to take 2 slots off the offense and put them on defense, they could. You could fit these guys in there perhaps and use them a certain way. But another thing is, too, being smart with the personnel that you have. Knowing that, you have guys like Caden Ellis and guys like Zach Bourne who play special teams, perhaps it'd be a good idea to implement those guys in the pass rush as well. As we've heard coaches say that they're trying to get Zach Bourne involved in the pass rush this year, and we're hoping so. So let's summarize here as we go back here. We'll summarize the Saints as we cover the Saints injury report here. Also, we cover their injury report with Jenkins looking good. Deontay Harris is on the right path back. Hardy and JT Gray, our key special teams stars, are still ailing from hamstring. They were both limited. Mike Thomas was shut down, which is the biggest news of Thursday, is that Kane guard Mike was shut down Thursday. We'll see what Friday designation look, but if he's DNP tomorrow, that means more than likely that he won't be available. It's a 95% chance that he won't play in the Carolina game, and that does not upset me because we do not need Kane guard Mike to beat the Panthers. And, of course, you see the rest of the guys. Teron Armstead's also good news. He was ailing from a hand issue, didn't practice Wednesday. He's back in a limited capacity for Thursday. Then, of course, we covered the story with the Saints ticket prices. And, of course, we talked about players that need to improve out of the bye week. And then, of course, we covered the latest roster dropping by the Saints, the depth chart. And, of course, we'll cover more depth chart and stats for the Saints on our Friday show and break down Carolina's players that we need to look for in their depth chart and their statistics on our Friday show like we customarily do. And then, of course, the Saints welcome in a new player to the team. Saints signed defensive end Will Clark to the practice squad for those. So there you go. So I know y'all happy to have Will Clark on the team. He's going to do some big things for the New Orleans Saints defense, right, family? But hey, that is all. That's all the stuff. But and let me tell you, man, and let me talk about the J.J. Watt stuff because GM Kev sent me some stuff on that yesterday, and I've been hearing and people been commenting saying, "Q, what you think about that?" And the stuff dealing with J.J. Watt. And of course it's spurred by the fact you've seen Yannick Ngakoue, who was traded by the Jacksonville Jaguars, and Ngakoue was traded to Baltimore today. Now, he was sent from Jacksonville to Minnesota, and then Minnesota packed and shipped him to, Baltimore, which for, what was it, a fourth? Because he got traded up there. They gave up a second pick, I think it was, a second and a fourth, and then Baltimore gave him like a third and something or other. But anyway, Yannick Ngakoue joins the Baltimore Ravens, and then you're going to start seeing trades happen here. You're going to start seeing some trades occur. And the Texans are definitely in the market to get rid of J.J. Watt. They really are. He's not in the long distance plans of the team. He's not. This team wants to start a new era of Texan football without J.J. Watt, unless anything could happen. Now, of course, he could take a pay cut and stay, but I don't think that's J.J.'s mentality. He earned this money, and if he's anything like Drew, I don't think he helps him in that regard. But I do see that what they gave Deshaun Watson that big money, that lets you know right now. And I remember for years, J.J. Watt was the top star of the Houston Texans team. There was nobody on that team. Well, you could talk about DeAndre Hopkins all you want, but J.J. Watt was a guy that was up there. He was a superstar, and not to take nothing away from DeAndre Hopkins, but Watt was the face of the Texans for a while. So, but he's older now. He's in his 30s now, and the team, and look what they did. They got rid of DeAndre Hopkins, sent him on his way, and then they gave a big, fat, juicy contract to Deshaun Watson and said, this is the future of the team. Now, J.J. Watt is a guy who's like, well, we're going to have to kind of look out for this money, and J.J.'s making this kind of money. We got to move him. Well, that's smoke before, there's always smoke before the fire, and I definitely think that's feasible. The only other issue is will the Saints make a play on them. That's the thing that I don't think will happen, because the Saints don't see it as a necessary move. They don't see they don't see that they need help from the pass rush perspective, especially that is to take on J.J. Watt's contract. I don't see them getting them. You see a team, somebody else go and make that move, but I don't see the Saints making that move to go after J.J. Watt. I just have to tell you that. I'm sorry. If the Saints felt like they needed help with the pass rush, they would have already done that in terms of when Davenport was out this past month, and they could have put Davenport on the IR, but Sean Payton ain't do it because he didn't want the questions. It made no sense for him to just sit there for a whole month and not play. And you knew he wasn't going to play. You couldn't get close to Davenport. They had him in a bubble somewhere. The reporters couldn't get, there was no pictures of him. The reporters couldn't get no questions. I'm telling you, he was out of the way, and he didn't want to pay the questions about Davenport as much. And then all of a sudden, Davenport pops up, and then he got all the injuries, all that kind of stuff. But I don't see it. When they really needed to make a move and get a defensive end, you see what the Saints do. You say, Q, we need a defensive end. We need pass rush. And you know what? And you're right. So you know what the Saints do? They go sign Will Clark. You seen the article I just, whatever his name is? That's what they signed. That's who they signed. They signed this guy today. They went out and signed this guy, and we saying you need a pass rush. And the Saints said, man, that dude right. We damn sure need a pass rush. Go get us a pass rush. Sign Will Clark. Sign Anthony Zattel or whatever his name is in Willoughby off the Baltimore practice squad or wherever he came from. See? You see how this goes? So it, like I've been saying it for a while. How they got like a schizophrenic nature in signing key personnel to help the team out. Now listen, there's two areas of the defense I would not dare play with. I would not dare play with the pass rush or the secondary. I won't. I refuse to do it because the pass rush is too important. And at this stage of the career, at the stage of the season, you can find an impactful defensive end that can come in and help keep the pressure on opposing quarterbacks. You've got to have that. And it wouldn't hurt you to have a veteran back there as opposed as a cornerback that can come in. If you have an injury to, say, a Patrick Robinson, then you got to use P.J. Williams there and then Justin Hardy. And Justin Hardy he's not a good cornerback. Justin Hardy is Ken Crawley's better than Justin Hardy as a cornerback. And Ken Crawley back on us to say, listen to, you guys said the same thing. We all said the same thing. Saints need an edge rusher, right? Saints sign edge rusher. His name Will Clark. Saints need cornerback help, right? Yeah, they need cornerback help. Saints sign Ken Crawley. You see how this goes? So how could you have a schizophrenic mindset? Because in the offseason, you signed Emmanuel Sanders and Malcolm Jenkins, which were key signings to help the team along in the playoff push. And then when the season starts, when they start playing football, then you turn dumb and start signing people like Ken Crawley, Anthony Zattel, Willisby, and all these other fantastical, great value good players who nobody knows nothing about to a place. So when you sign, and see, they do that for a reason. If you sign a player with a name, then the fans and the media gonna say, why isn't Clay Matthews playing, Peyton? Why is he on the practice squad? You see what I'm saying? If you sign a guy with a name, let's say, and like I said, the Saints, and there's several players that I've been advocating for the Saints to get for years. Adrian Clayburn, who played with Tampa, Atlanta, and several other teams, is a guy that you can bring in for next to cheap. He's with somebody right now. But you can, if you want, maybe you can give up a pick, like a 7th round pick or a 6th round pick, to land a guy, and he's a veteran that can help you. He don't make a lot of money, but he's impactful. You can play him inside, outside. He's a mad dog on the pass rush. But see, the Saints know, which they know that you know what they're looking at, but Peyton doesn't get the big name players. Because if he did get Clay Matthews, who's out there, or Cameron Wake, and they're on the practice squad, and we're not getting no pressure on the quarterback, the first question is going to be, and then he gonna say, listen, like he talked to reporters. Now listen. All right, Grandpa Peyton. He gonna start telling the reporters to hush. Oh, hush. He turned to a real grandpa. Them start calling him Grandpa Peyton with the shaggy jaws. He looked like a Saint Bernard. All hush, media. All hush, reporter. You gonna start saying them all hush, and you gonna see Grandpa Peyton out there. He already got the glasses, and he already got the attitude, the old grandpa mad attitude all the time. Oh, hush. Hush, Big Q, hush. But man, listen, that's what I'm saying, man. The bottom line is we as a team, we know these things. We know what we're looking at. And when they sign these players, it's a clear thumbs up to the rest of the fans. Say, man, they know what they're looking at. These guys these guys aren't dummies out here. These guys aren't dummies out here. Do you understand what I'm saying? The Great Saint Think Tank is not anybody's sucker, chump, fool, or fan. Listen, we are not. We critical thinking family members. I would not call you or not disrespect you by calling you a fanatic, because nobody's fanatic. But the reality is that like I know what the team need. You say they need secondary help. Yo, we need hey, listen, the Sean Payton, the Saints need a veteran cornerback behind PJ and Patrick Robinson. You're right, says Payton. So he signs a veteran cornerback. Ken Crawley. Oh my goodness. He said, yo, Coach Payton, man. Yo, Coach Payton, we need some help on the defense. We need another pass rusher here. You're right, Great Saint Think Tank. Here we go. And then when they sign, Will Clark. Well, you told me, and I told y'all, man, in the prior show, asking Sean Payton to get players for you and improve the team is like asking the evil genie for a wish. Didn't you remember that story I told y'all about the evil genie? And that's like asking the evil genie to make a wish. And you find this lamp somewhere. And he's like, you was cleaning up somewhere, and you find a lamp somewhere. He said, oh my goodness. Oh man, I found this can't be what I think it is. It's a lamp. And then somebody say, man, I ain't know, you out of your mind, man. That's a toy. I'm telling you, man. And then you rub the lamp. Then the genie come out there like this. I am the great genie, and I will give you one wish for whatever you desire. I will grant you whatever. And then the guy's like, oh my goodness, I told you. It's a genius. Well, hold on, fool. Well, hold on, fool. You gonna ask her what you want? Yeah. What you going? No. I want it. Okay, I got it. All right, genie, you ready? I am ready. Whatever your wish is my desire. And then the guy says, I want $1 million. And the genie says, your wish is my command. And he pops his head, he disappears. And then the guy goes, he says, he's looking at the table and see if there's his money. There's no money nowhere. There's no money. So he says, you know what? Go look outside. And then he go outside. There's $1 million outside. $1 million goddamn bucks, all right. A bunch of reindeer outside. 1 million of them crapping everywhere. All on top of his truck. And he like, oh my goodness, this is not what I asked for. That's what you got with Sean Payton. That's what the hell you got in Sean Payton. He like Jafar from the Aladdin movie. Remember the second Aladdin movie when Jafar turned into an evil genie? That's what the hell you got. You asked for $1 million, book up, and the next thing you know, you got $1 million rain. You got $1 million damn deer outside your house, crapping everywhere. That's what the hell you got with Sean Payton. That's what you got. $1 million damn crapping deer everywhere. $1 million damn crapping ass bucks outside your house. And you sitting up there like, oh my goodness, what is this? See? That's what you get messing around with Sean Payton, man. Messing around with Grandpa Payton. Reading the fine print. But that's what I'm talking. I want $1 million. I want $1 million. I'm a millionaire. No, you're not. No, you're not. You just got a bunch of stinking ass animals outside your house, crapping everywhere. But yeah, Fowler, and that's what it comes down to, is the craziness of it, man, is that sometimes it's absolutely insane, man, that, you know, how we deal with it. That's how we deal with it. We deal with like, oh my goodness. And then see, he knows what he's doing because he softens you up. See, he learned how to do it incrementally now. So he'll bring in players like he did with Ken Crawley. He brought in Crawley and then said, Saints looking at Crawley, right? He just didn't sign Crawley and Crawley popped up on the active roster. I said, what the hell is Ken Crawley doing here? No, it didn't happen like that. It happened as a tryout. And then family members, you know what he's going to say? They're going to say, well, we just trying him out. And remember what I said? What the hell is they trying out Ken Crawley for? And what happened? 3 or 4 days later, he on the team. Same thing that happened with Tommy Lee Lewis. What the hell Tommy Lee Lewis doing back? Only thing Tommy Lee Lewis do is run full speed in the back of his blocker. He has zero vision in returning kicks and punts. He runs full speed into the rear end of his own blocker. And you tell me that's somebody on your team. I mean, come on. Be back on the team. But see, it's a tryout period that's leaked out. Then the incrementalism gets you used to it without you even realizing it. The next thing you know, that sucker back on the team again. He back on the team. He back on the team again. And that's the same move he did with Ken Crawley. But like I said, and I'm using the genie analogy, is that is truth. That's truth. That's veritas. That's putting truth to the fire, man, to be honest with you. Because that's how Sean Payton rolled. That's how the hell he rolled. Now listen, family, we about to go into our commercial break. When I come back on the other side of the break, I'm going to open up the phone lines for about, an hour or so. We're going to do about a couple hours today. We're going to open up the phone lines and open up and take some calls from you guys. If you want me to ask any questions, please put them in the chat right now. And when we come back from on the other side of the break, we'll get into it. We'll break it down. But remember, family, please hit the like button as we get going on this one. Question, concerns in the chat, and we'll open up the call after the commercial break, so just stick with us.
HomeBistro.com. Freshly prepared, home-delivered, restaurant-quality gourmet meals delivered straight to your home. Choose from over 50-plus gourmet meal options cooked by world-class chefs and delivered frozen, ready to eat within minutes and no commitment. Welcome to the one-shop gourmet food delivery, specializing affordable options to eat right and feel great. 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Every ingredient is handpicked to the highest standard. And why you should buy from HomeBistro.com? Restaurant quality, made with natural ingredients, delivered right to your door. Overnight shopping is available. Diabetic, paleo, heart health, and vegetarian options to eat. Doing business since 1999. Courteous, knowledgeable, and professional support. Complete PCI compliant SSL security ordering, and great meals. Choose from some of my favorite dishes: the Mediterranean chicken with orange honey sauce, the charbroiled chicken romesco, or the grilled chicken breast with sweet sweet and spicy vegetables. No matter what you choose, you can't lose with homebistro.com. Eat great, feel good, and save some money with homebistro.com. Hit the link in the description section below for more information. Located in Henderson, Nevada, bulksupplements.com supplies over 400 pure nutritional supplements, ingredients to hundreds of thousands of consumers and manufacturers. All of their products are available from grams to metric tons through their online store at bulksupplements.com. Orders received 4 noon Pacific Standard Time ship the same day. Their FDA registered CGMP manufactured and distributing facility has a staff over 60 full-time employees that take pride in providing excellent customer service and producing quality products for their customers. The wellness of the community is of the utmost importance to Bulk Supplements. It's dedicated to maintaining all health code and government regulation. Each supplement is tested in their in-house laboratory before distribution, ensuring that all products are safe for consumption. For any additional testing, they utilize reputable and vetted US-based independent labs. Customer service is available 7 days a week from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time through live chat, phone, and email. Bulk Supplements products are produced in an FDA registered and inspected manufacturing facility. So if you want quality supplements at a quality price, Bulk Supplements is the company for you. Bulk Supplements, clean and pure bulk supplements. Check the link in the description section below for more information. TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, and even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. Who That family, check out the Pro Shop. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform stores where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check out the Pro Shop and Who That too.
All right, fam, we back at it once again. Family, much love to the Black and Gold family members in the live stream. Thank you guys for sticking with us on this side of the show. We're on the second side of the show. Just to let the family members know, the live lines open 504-475-4482. Live lines are open 504-475-4482. We'll take calls for the summation of the rest up until about 8:30 or so, maybe a little bit after. We'll take calls about for the summation of an hour. So big ups to the rest of the family members, and thank you guys for joining us on this episode of the Sports Coma. So, family, like I said, man, it's fantastic, man, to be honest with you, coming into to see what a lot of stuff. And that one thing about New Orleans, that we never keep it dull or boring. You know, we never keep it dull or boring. But if we were able to turn on some of these wins, I mean, you have the Minnesota Vikings stinking it up. The Dallas Cowgirls are awful. You know, Atlanta stinks. I mean, the three teams that we really absolutely hate and despise and wouldn't be mad if somebody dumped them in the ocean. I don't want nobody to get hurt, but dumped them in some cold water in Laddie Daddy's backyard. That's one of the things that, you know, these teams are bad. And if the Saints can wake up and start, you know, we already won 2 in a row, which is a positive sign. And we keep mounting on top of these winnings and keep beating. We come and take care of Carolina, go up there to Chicago, take care of business, and let that roll over into Tampa Bay and squash them as well. You could be turning around after 3 weeks and seeing the Saints sitting up there looking pretty good. 3 straight wins right now give the Saints a 6-2 mark, which is respectable. That is a respectable. Winning 3 straight games, Carolina, Chicago, and Tampa, makes you 6-2. That's respectable. Now, of course, Green Bay lost. Tampa took care of that for us. Then we don't wrap up the NFC South, but we definitely pushed Tampa Bay out the way. We also knocked down Carolina too, who's chasing you. Atlanta, unless they start willing off wins, we're not looking forward to them doing a damn thing. But as it stands, the season, as it stands, man, is actually the remaining rest of these teams are actually exactly where they should be. You know what I'm saying? And nobody's talking about New Orleans. We're lowering everybody's power rankings, which is fine. I don't give a rat's, patootie about power rankings, especially at this cusp of the season. My only concern, and I'm not even really, concerned about when reporters ask them about if you guys having fun. I'm not really concerned about that. You having fun, if you're winning, that takes care of it. Everybody's happy when you're winning. So let's focus on the winning and not just everything else. Let's focus on doing our jobs the right way. Let's focus on taking the correct route to tackle somebody and not a poorish one. Let's actually know what we're doing in terms of when coverages are called. We know exactly what we need to be. And if you're recognizing a teammate don't know what he's doing, instruct him. Listen, you need to get over here or get back there. Oh, I got you. Oh, my bad. Something like that. Remember the play that happened? I think it was against the Chargers when you had one of the wide receivers. I think it was Callaway went into motion when he wasn't supposed to, and then wide receiver, I think it was either Kamara or Emmanuel Sanders pointed him to go back, and he shifted back. Remember that? That type of communication is needed when you see some of these young guys that's on field that's thinking they're seeing something that they don't see. But, you would think, not everybody's perfect. But if you were somewhere for 4 years and you were there steadily and you got a lot of reps and you were in that position, you will get a good idea about what's really going on there. And, and like I said, an Iceman called the show, I think it was yesterday. The Iceman called up on our Wednesday Saints Talk show. And Iceman was saying, yeah, Q, we get on Marcus, but we got to get on Laddie Daddy too. And he absolutely right. Laddie Daddy has been looking pretty pathetic lately this year, and he needs to get up off the snide. And listen, is Laddie Daddy feeling himself with those 2 Pro Bowls? Could be. You got to be feeling yourself because that was supposed to be something that you were supposed to take and then improve upon it. You think Deion Sanders, as braggadocious and as flamboyant as Deion Sanders was, he took pride in not getting burned out there. He really did. His thing was, you will not burn me. You will not. You're not going. And that was the thing about, and you have to, and I was thinking about it the other night. I was like, how could Laddie Daddy, You know, he dropped past the show. He drops on the show. He be in the chat. And Laddie Daddy had come through here, and I was like, man, what can I tell Laddie Daddy next time he come through the Sports Coma? You know, what we got to tell him? You know, to help him out, you know? And I'm thinking to myself, I was like, man, that's it. What Deion Sanders used to do. Deion Sanders took it like you was punching his mama. You see what I'm saying? He took it serious that you wasn't going to burn him. And if you happen to make a catch on Deion Sanders, because back in the day, if you go back and look at the footage, he was so cold that he would shut down a side of the field. They wouldn't even throw over that side. Or if they threw over there, they would throw over there. You know, they would throw in that direction a few times. But when they did, he made them pay. Because they had some of those quarterbacks say, man, he ain't all that. Watch this. And you throw it, he batted down. He said, I'm coming back to you. We're gonna make him look bad. Throw it over there, he intercepts, take it back. Pick 6. And that's what Deion Sanders came into the league. He had to make a name for himself. Laddie Daddy came in the league. He stepped up. He did what he was supposed to do. He ain't just known for locking down no Mike Evans. He did that to Amari Cooper. He did it to Julio Jones. I mean, he played guys and he would literally take them out of the game. They wouldn't have 7 and 8 catches. He'll have 1 or 2 catches, or there'll be a 9 factor. You see what I'm saying? But he don't get that credit. The thing is too, is the fact of the matter is he has to approach it that way. It's like with that Deion Sanders mentality, it's like you won't get nothing on me, you know, and play with that intensity, with that mentality. Like there's nothing going on over here. You can play with me as you want. Test like every attempt or throw, he takes it personal. That's what I'm saying. Like the shirt that we had made at the pro shop, snatch you up one. Take it personal. Every attempt to throw on your side, take it personal. Where is that mentality? Where is that mentality to take it personal? How dare you try to throw the ball on us? Don't you understand who we are? And make them pay. Not only take it personal, but when they attempt to do it, make them pay for that. That's what I'm talking about. Where is that mentality? Because that's what the great cornerbacks all have. And you talk about guys, whether they Deion Sanders on down the line to Darrelle Revis. It don't make no difference. If you're a great cornerback, you will make it. Aeneas Williams, when Rod Woodson was a corner before they switched him back to the safety, Eric Allen, when he was at the prime of his career doing things, when you are top-notch cornerback that's locking one side of the field down, you have to have the mentality that you will not get nothing over here. You can't do that. And if you have second and third string ass wide receivers catching passes on you, you got to take that personal, G. You got to take it personal. You can't be like Marcus Williams. He caught the ball. You be like, well, that's what he's supposed to do on me. You know, I'm just glad, he didn't get a touchdown. Oh, my bad. He got a touchdown. When the guy Keenan flashed in front of him, and he seen the play standing there watching the guy run right past his vision. Then he pursues him late because he a stitch out of time. he right behind where he's supposed to be. You can't let that happen, man. So next time Laddie Daddy come through on the chat, fam, we're going to have to let Laddie Daddy know. Say, bro, you can't do that, Laddie Daddy. You got to take it personal, G. You got to take it personal. I know you too cool for school. I know your house is an igloo. I know that you live in the Antarctic. I know the way how you catch your food. You cut the ice, a circle in the ice, and then you stick a line and you catch salmon, and that's what you eat because it's brain food. But it's cool to be Laddie Daddy, but you might need to create another persona back there. You're not Laddie Daddy cool when you out there. You now Fire Daddy. You know what I'm saying? You got to create a persona that out there, so and take that personal. That's when you don't have them lapses where when you start getting bored out there. I gotta look at everybody like they Julio Jones. No, you gotta look at yourself like Deion Sanders. That's what you gotta do. And what fired Deion up to play what he did, because he wanted to be the best. That was one thing, but being the best means, what does it mean to be the best? The best cornerback in Deion's perception. What you know what I'm saying? The best was not letting people make plays on you, especially in touchdowns. and making them pay when they throw to your side. That's what Deion Sanders did, to the point where they didn't throw to his side that much. You know, I'm just saying. They got, and the family members was right. They was like, yeah, Q, he has to be a person that understands that. So it's not about you got to see them as Julio Jones, but you got to see yourself as Deion Sanders, meaning you have to take everything, every person that line up against you. I don't care if he the number 1 receiver or the number 7 receiver. It don't matter whoever you put in front of me. I'm going to shut your ass down today. You ain't getting nuskin. Bottom line, goose egg, zilch, nada, nothing. Nothing. You gets nothing over here. You gets nothing. I'm laddie daddy and I'm taking you down. You ain't getting nothing, playboy. I don't know why they put you against me, but you ain't getting nothing. It's over for you. You know, and that's how you gotta talk. You gotta talk out there, laddie daddy. You gotta handle your business, because people calling you garbage. Your head kind of swole off them 2 Pro Bowls, it appeared, player. Your head swole off them Pro Bowls, laddie daddy. Because you don't have 2 Pro Bowl appearances, sink down that low. We know you're dealing with injuries as well, but you wasn't looking that good, truth be told. Prior to that, then we can say the group as a whole masks a lot of the issues, because we're looking at communication breakdowns, but each person's not winning their individual matchups. You had Jenkins, he wasn't winning his matchups due to the fact that they were tired, because of Sean Payton's foolishness, the St. Bernard. But like I said, man, at the end of the day, that each person, we got to win our matchups. And if you're a person who want the big fat contract, because that's what you're gearing to, you got to represent. You got to show up and you got to shut down that side of the field. You become a shutdown, lockdown cornerback like we know you can do, and stick that mentality in there, because he said, I won't be the best. The best is Deion Sanders. If you're a cornerback in the NFL, the standard is Deion Sanders. It is. It's Deion Sanders. He's the standard. So if you want to know what it takes to be the best, study Deion Sanders. Study Deion Sanders, what he was saying. And Deion don't keep the secrets away. Deion says everything. He says about watching the hips. Remember that? I played linebacker and fullback when I played football. I played linebacker and fullback. So I didn't, and the only thing I knew about the secondary is why I would watch the secondary coach break down and talk about what, hips and all that kind of stuff. And we learned that as you play, when you covering tight ends or whoever you covering, you knew what to look for. And a lot of time when Deion Sanders said what he said, he got intricate with it. Deion said, watch the hips. That's old school knowledge. He said, watch the hips, because they can fake you with the feet, but they cannot shake you with wherever their hips go, they go. That's what Deion said. So he didn't get caught up on the feet like Patrick Robinson or PJ Williams getting faked out of there every game. Because PJ watching him, he watching his feet, and the guy tap dancing, PJ lost. And the guy take off this way, and PJ miles behind, because he's not watching Deion Sanders. And shame on him and Patrick Robinson, because they both came from the school where the best cornerback that ever played came from. How do you go to a school where Deion Sanders is known? I don't know if he got a statue there or not. He probably do. I don't know. But Deion Sanders played at that school. It is a Hall of Fame player, the best cornerback to ever do it. You come from his school and you look like that? I mean, come on, man. You will disrespect the great memory of Deion Sanders. He ain't even going nowhere yet. He's still alive and you disrespecting his legacy. I mean, come on, man. You know better than that. But that's what I'm saying. That's what it takes. The fundamental stuff is needed for guys like Laddie Dad. He got to get back on par. Now about Marcus Williams, I don't know what to tell you about Marcus. I'm sorry. Marcus Williams, to me, man, I don't know what to tell you, man. I was watching footage on Marcus. Man, with me, I just don't. There is a lot wrong with Marcus Williams. There's no confidence in him. From what I'm seeing, I can't tell you. I don't know what to tell you on Marcus. I'm going to keep it real with you. Anyway, big ups to the rest of the family members joining the live stream. Please hit upon the like button if you hadn't hit it already. Big ups to you, John Thompson. I see you, Trail Hat. True that to you. Trail in the building as well. Big ups to you. Live lines open. 504-475-4482 will be open until about 8:30ish. We'll shut the stream down right around that time. We'll go out with the commercials. We'll come back and then we'll say goodbye. But live lines are open. 504-475-4482. Live lines are open. for people who want to chime in. Anyway, we're going to keep it going here. Big ups to the rest of the family members chiming in. I'm going to jump in the chat and see what the family members, any questions, concerns, or comments, just throw it at me. I get to it. Young City Night Ward, who that to your fam? Big ups to you as well. Good to see you in the chat. Kevin said, who the hell is Will Clark? Hold on. Let me show you another picture of him, GM Kev. Let me show you. I got a picture. This is a picture somebody sent me, man. I'm going to send you a really good picture of Coach Payton. I'm going to show y'all. I don't know if y'all ever seen this picture of Coach Payton, man. But he ain't seen too good, man. He wasn't too happy, man. You know, he had heard like the sports coma a couple of days ago, and somebody sent me this picture of him. And I'm going to share the picture, and then I'm going to show you another picture of the new defensive lineman we just signed. So y'all just hang with me, and I'm going to share the screen and bring it to you. All right, this is the picture they just showed. They sent me a Coach Payton. And Coach Payton, as you see, he don't look too happy, man. He was upset about us calling him out on his run play right there. And Coach Payton, I'm sorry. You don't have to look that upset. But thank you very much, Coach Payton. Thank you. All right, and also let's go on to, we're going to take a look at the great value canned good player. We're going to take a look at the great value canned good player, Will Clark. That's who you see on your right there. That's Will Clark standing next to Tommy Lee Lewis. As you can see, Ken Crawley is there as well. You got Willoughby standing there to the well, Anthony Zattel, and several other Saints practice squad players, as you can see, standing right there in harmony, in unison with each other. So big ups to the newest member of the team right here. As you can see, he's joining in the rest of the bunch. So big ups to the rest of our practice squad players. They're in the building. Big ups to the practice squad players. They are in the building. Big ups. You know we like to have fun at the Sports Coma, fam. It's entertainment. It's edutainment. It's the Sports Coma. It's edutainment. It educates you and entertains you. It's edutainment. Big ups to the family members in the live stream, man. That I'm just kicking it. I'm just having fun, a little fun picking at the coach, man. You know how we do. But big ups to the family members. Live lines open 504-475-4482. I'm going to run down the chat, man, and holler at people. All right. Let's see who else we got here. Any questions, concerns, or comments here? All right. Let me see. Let me go. Okay, Crass. Who that to you, Crass? Good to see you, bro. He says Tampa Bay is going to be a problem. In the rematch, defensively, they're balling. Bowles is a legit defensive coordinator. He is. It's going to be tough. You got to run the ball. And, of course, they're missing Vita Vea, but that backup in there is doing a pretty good job. But we got to run the ball, man. We got to power that ball against Tampa Bay, bro. We can't be throwing, and you're absolutely right on Bowles. Bowles is an excellent coordinator, man. He knows how to get the strength. He got speed all over the place. He got Devon's playing out of his mind. Levanta David is all excellent. I mean, the young cornerback, Carlton Davis, is making a name for himself. That Winfield, the rookie, who's the son of Antoine Winfield back in it, that dude is special. They're getting pressure. JPP doing his thing. And Ndamukong Suh did his thing against Green Bay. So as you can see, Tampa Bay is a legit team defensively. And of course, we got them in. They're solid, man. They're one of the top defensive units in this league. The Saints are gonna have their hands full taking on that Tampa Bay defense. We can't stall out, man. We got, by the time we see Tampa, and that's 3 weeks from now. 3 weeks from now, after the Carolina and Chicago game, we go to Tampa Bay to take on the Bucs. We can't have a letdown. We can't. We got the first win of the season. We gotta take them out of there. You gotta sweep them up out of here, man. So we can't be stalling out. So thank you for that, Crass. Big ups. Kenny Sutton, who that? So I definitely want to get I don't want to get my hopes up. He said I definitely want to get my hopes up. Just wait and see. Kevin says 7 sacks in 6 years. Yep, that's average, just about a sack a year. A sack and a quarter a year. You don't like that great value, can good, that Kev? Devin says trade for J.J. Watt and sign Earl Thomas. Who, the Saints? Man, now you talking Super Bowl moves there, buddy. If the Saints got on the horn one day and say, man, the Saints just traded for J.J. Watt. Then the same day they signed Earl Thomas. Are you kidding me? That would be absolutely phenomenal. All right, fam, thank you for calling the Great Saint Think Tank. Who's on the line?
What's up, Q? This Freddie.
What's up, brother Freddie? How you doing, my friend?
I can't call it around.
What you think about what we doing, bro? What our chances are going against Carolina and Mike T getting shut down, DMP, hamstring issues, a lot going on there, brother Freddie.
Yeah, it's like being on a roller coaster when you part of the Saints family. 1 minute I'm excited for his return because I know what he brings to the table, and then look up. He had practice fighting his teammates. He getting hit down. Okay, the entire weekend of the bye was just boring when you can't see your team in action. So it was hard trying to get through the weekend, not seeing my Saints take the field. Okay, then I was kind of in the dark on the injury reports, and I'm at work. Ain't nobody really heard nothing. So I'm like, well, when I get home, I know Q got the answers for me. Bam! I pop it on. I hear this here. Now I'm drove all over again. you know.
Well, you say you drove all over again, huh, brother Freddie?
Yeah, man. You know. Now, to be realistic about it, I still think we're gonna go on a little mini run even without Mike T. But he is a huge part of our offense, and some people even say he's our entire offense. And you know, from a sideline view, it appears that way, but that shouldn't be the case when you got Kamara, Murray, Traquan, Cook, with the boy from the 49ers, Emmanuel Sanders,
right,
and Andrew Christopher Breeze at the helm.
Right.
It kind of reminds me of a famous scripture that I'm going to intertwine with this.
Okay.
What profits a team to do good in the regular season and not make the Super Bowl? You feel me? I don't know nobody else out there, but I'm tired of this every year. I mean, we 13-3. Now, I didn't like how they fought. I blame Sean Payton on that whole debacle with the 49ers that knocked us out of the first spot. Last year, that Minnesota game, I'm still kind of looking at everybody side-eye with that one. Drew Brees went to the podium after an early playoff exit and was grinning, telling jokes to the media. I'm sitting here sweating, blood pressure 200 over 120, pissed off, and he up there joking. Sean Payton misdirecting the media, and I didn't even know about he went and called it with the 49ers you was talking about. I ain't even know all that had happened.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, now what kind of coach take side gigs right after exiting the playoffs, knowing you finna hit his negative press all year till the season kick back off. You know, so Q, I'm looking for something solid to get excited about, bro. Give me something, cause I'm going crazy over here.
No, brother Freddie. Well, I mean, to be honest with you, my brother, I think we looking at some stuff here, man, and the Saints have a supreme opportunity. They're on a 2-game winning streak. The last win wasn't about it. It didn't look like I was encouraged by the Detroit win. The not so much by the Chargers, but still in all, it's a 2-game winning streak. They are more than they're more than competent to be able to deal with Carolina. They really are.
Okay.
And then Chicago, that'll be a real big test because we got to go up there to Chicago. They're playing really well right now. Nick Foles has got them, looking like one of the better teams in the NFC. So we got to go up into Chicago, and we got to take one from them. Then get ready to head to Tampa Bay so we could take on Tom Brady. So right now the Saints had a rest period right after that Chargers game, and they had an early bye, so they rested. It's not like they're a weary team. So they had an opportunity to rest, resync, refocus, iron out wrinkles, find out what they need to do, and then handle business up against Carolina, Chicago, and Tampa Bay. These next 3 games are really big games, especially the two divisional games with Carolina, who's trying to get a little strength there. We can bat them down. And then after Chicago, which that'll position us in the NFC, we take care of Tampa Bay. That'll make us look really good in the NFC heading to the rest of the series of games. But now is the money time. You get into the real crunch time area of the season. And besides, the Saints always do well in the month, in this month. They always do well in October and then into November. So they always do well in that time. They catch a sink, they start moving around. So I expect things to get a lot better with the offense. But the issue is when we get to points and stall out periods, what do we then do? Do we then start running the ball, or do we kill ourselves with asinine Taysom Hill package plays or screen plays or throwing the ball 5 or 6 or 7 times down the line of scrimmage? We need to stop doing that, and we need to start having a straight ahead approach. We need to get a ball more to Latavius. We need to get a ball more and add another back, and then we'll get Ty Montgomery back. We'll have that 3 running back look that we were looking at before he got hurt. So that's something that we really didn't get the gist of, that we should see more of it in the next 3 or 4 or 5 plus games. So there is definitely pause. There's definitely concern, but there's a lot to be excited about because the Saints are more than able. They could be able to take and beat. They definitely could take care of business against Carolina, and then that's 3 straight, and we go up there, take care of business against Chi-Town, stop them from running the ball, and take Nick Foles down. We should be fine. But we gotta do this just right, though. We gotta make sure we handle business like we know how to do.
Okay, I'm with you. Now, check this out, though. Me personally, I'm a Libra, and I believe in weighing everything, literally.
Okay.
Our first opponent coming up is Teddy Two Gloves and the Panthers. Teddy Two Gloves is our ex-backup who, in the midst of the great Drew Brees going down with a thumb injury, came in and won us 5 games. He was a perfect 5-0. And matter of fact, he did so good of a job with the I'm gonna call it brilliant play calling of Sean Payton that Teddy won over the great fans of New Orleans with a chant against the Arizona Cardinals, Teddy, Teddy. That means Bridgewater did a good enough job to make us temporarily forget Drew. And a matter of fact, I was seeing a couple family members saying, keep Teddy in. Now, Teddy is no longer with us, and he's considered the enemy now. And he's only a season, not even a whole season, removed from the Saints. He has inside intel from playing against our defense. Also, he has Mr. Joe Brady, who was a part of Saints faculty, and inside the head, the complicated big head of Sean Payton. Now, we got that kind of gives Carolina a bit, just a little bit, of an edge as an opponent. And again, football is chess, not checkers. Sean Payton gets caught up in a checker game a lot. See, he want to double hop you with a queen all the time, and then it don't work. Also, Carolina defense is pretty, and them boys young. It's pretty decent. I can't call them scrubs. Okay, now who wins that chess match? Now, from my view, it belongs to the Saints, but what I think isn't always implemented, because we got a coach that gets trigger happy with his 41-year-old Hall of Fame quarterback. They may be caught up in 2010-11, and he's thinking how the league wronged him and all of that. But Drew is not that guy anymore, and I don't want to beat the dead horse on the whole Drew situation. But with proper play calling, with extensive use of the run game, which we do have, if called right, man, we could be one of the top 5 rushing teams in the league. It don't make no sense to brag on having Alvin Kamara and you throwing to him the whole game. Now, if you ain't got nobody to shut that down, I get it. But then you got this big old boy Murray just killing people. Linebackers when they first come in contact with Murray, they're like, damn, he's strong. And before you know it, 2 rushes, first down.
That's right.
So, I just don't get it. If we understand this as fans or family members, you know what I'm saying? These people, Sean Payton, them are supposed to be the elite thinkers. Then you got Chicago. Hakeem Hicks. He hates Drew, and I hope they do a good job of blocking that boy, because he's gonna try to put one on Drew. Then you gotta worry about Khalil Mack all game. You know what I'm saying? I don't think their offense is potent enough. Our defense should be able to counter that. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I don't want to. We done had enough stressful situations all year. I definitely don't want nobody else to get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And Tampa Bay, they really gonna turn it up, because we beat them the first meeting, and they want some get back. And really, we the only thing stopping them from winning the South. Atlanta, they look bad, but again, when they play us, they turn it up. Really, they can go 2-13, long as they beat us at least once. And you know what I'm saying? So I don't really discredit teams when they doing bad, because it's like, for some strange reason, when people play us, it's like, yeah, we got to shine on the Saints. You know, I mean, it really didn't make no damn sense. The Chargers come up in there, which they had a good defense, but they was down a couple key pieces and a rookie quarterback, and in that game take off like that. You know what I'm saying? When we are a stellar of enough team to I mean, we ain't gonna blow everybody out, but you know, I mean, let's just be honest here though. Some of these teams we supposed to just run over and dominate the game, which, you know, and that'll alleviate some of the negativity. You know, I know we ain't no big market or nothing like that, and you know, we ain't got Fox or nobody in our pocket, but damn, you know, I mean, I need the coaching staff to get their mind right. And if you see that boy Daddy, he better back up all that cool shit he be talking, cause now the eye is really on him. And you know, all that stroking your beard and putting your little diamond necklace on, that's the game, and you done gave up 500 yards passing to the opposing offense. That ain't gonna cut it, because there ain't nobody on Carolina side of the ball. That boy David Moore, and you know, I don't want to see none of them boys with more than 5 catches. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's just how it should go. But you know, I mean, I'm kind of different. Maybe I'm just talking out the side of my neck.
No, I think you're speaking the real, that brother Freddie. I mean, everything you're saying, the Great Saint Think Tank, they saying they feeling it, bro. They riding with you on that, bro. I mean, you're right. Laddie Daddy got to step up, man. He got to step up. He looking less than what he's supposed to look, and he has to step it up. And that's the entire secondary. We'll get Jenkins back as well. Janoris, Malcolm Jenkins need to step up. Marcus Williams need to step the hell up as well. And with Davenport coming back in the fold, we have some guys that can stop Cam, because Cam, a lot of people say, well, Cam, why Cam looking so bad? Cam looking bad over there because he doubled, and sometimes he's double teamed, and then the guy, a wide receiver, chipping him, tight end, a running back chip blocking him. You know, so I mean, he's doubled down. He gets the double assignment every game. And the only way that makes life easier for Cam is that you have another guy on the opposite side that can fire off and force the offensive line to make an adjustment. And hopefully we can do that over the next stretch. And that's the difference maker, is the fact you have an impactful defensive lineman back in Davenport that'll help out. He looked pretty damn good in that Chargers game in a limited amount of snaps that he had. He was ferocious in there, throwing people around. He came within a hair or two of making a play, getting on the quarterback. And I think the more opportunities he'll get going into the season, you'll start to see that defense gain its swagger back. You know, and that's a part of it. We got to keep the pressure on. You can't do like what we did against the Raiders, knock the quarterback around for a couple of quarters and then let him live for the rest of the game. It don't work like that. Those guys will come back and they'll throw the ball on top of your head. So we got to make sure that the pass rush is steady and ferocious for the full summation of the entire game. We also got to make sure we pick the right personnel calls and the right schemes to be able to scheme these guys so we keep the deep ball in front of us. I know Dennis Allen doesn't like to do that too often, but you know, if you're having a problem with protecting from the deep ball, you don't really have too many other options except for to keep them safeties high, you know, and keep everything out in front of you and have the Saints act as all the players focus on the ball type of mentality, like what we had early on a couple of years ago when the Saints won't let you beat them deep, but they keep everything out front of you. But then when they make a play out there, everybody combines on top of the ball. It's a group tackle thing. Everybody rush to where the ball is. And then usually when you do that, you can force turnovers as well because the guys will hold a guy up. He stripped the ball out of there. And that's something that, that's a part of it that has to come back. But we got to get the schematic right, man, because I talked about this on the other show. Is that it's very rare that all four of the defensive backs look bad at the same time. That's very rare that such a thing will happen where they all just choose the wrong day to look bad. Most of the times, that does happen rarely, but most of the times when you see everybody looking bad and it's over a period of games, that's scheme, man. They're not they're not comfortable with the scheme. And then if they're not comfortable and have confidence in the scheme, that speaks to the coordinator. They got to get on the same page. And that D coordinator got to go talk to them guys, say what, and find out what they like to do and see if he can incorporate that into his play calling, because they're going to tell him, listen, we need to do this. They're telling them what he need to do. It is up to the decision makers to incorporate that into a successful game plan.
Yes, indeed.
So I'm looking at it like this. I say, just like I've been saying, is that it's all contingent upon Sean Payton doing the right thing, and then the overall mentality of the team takes over. What I mean by that is, if Sean's ideals are not in line with the team's ideals, trust me, it'll be known. Because you can't. If it's him against the rest of them, he won't win that. He can't win that. He doesn't have a doctrine to stand on or a dogma to stand on because it's built around the team-based concept. If he takes a path that is separate from what the other team is on a Super Bowl, that's what if Sean Payton is not fit, that's why I'm saying be patient. He's the ego and maniac and control freak that I think he is. Then sooner or later, this situation will be rectified all on its own because the team is headed in the direction of the Super Bowl. The mentality is anyway. And if he's not engaged, if he's not in league with that, he'll be found out. He'll be called out. And then they'll have situations in the locker room that will force the coach to do it just like they did against Detroit when he was forced to run the ball 40-something odd times because he was constantly getting badgered by commentary from people like me and the rest of the great Saint think tank. And people keep badgering him about running the ball, and that's why you was losing these games, because the last 13 minutes of that Green Bay Packer game, you threw 15 times in a row. That's ridiculous and stupid to do that. But see, he'll get away with that if you don't call him out. But see, that was a reflection in the next game. He then ran 40 plus times, which he ain't done that since 2017 or something like that, when we took on the Bills and he had like 45 rushes in that game. And then he come back the next game and go back to what he was. Okay, I gave you 40 plus rushes. I'm gonna do now 48 passes with 25 rushes. So Sean Payton is gonna do and be who he's gonna be. We can't change that. All we can do is make sure the pressure of the team stand on course, because the team, everybody is gonna be on the same path. That's getting and winning these games. If they start losing games because that's winnable games and they're losing them to people that had no business losing, trust and believe that the guys in the locker room who he can't cut and ship out of here like he did Nigel Bradham, who asked him for more reps, he can't do that to these guys. He swallow his pride, and he has to listen to them, especially if they speaking the truth. So trust and believe it's going to get all ironed out. Either he does it voluntary or involuntarily, one way or the other, it's going to get it ironed out, and the Saints are going to get to the playoffs. One way or the other.
Q, you think he hear you? He be hearing you?
I think people be taking word back to him. I'll tell you straight up like this without putting any names in it. I know that at least 24 people from in that building listen to this show. And I won't tell you what social media networks they do it to, but know that we everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, everywhere. But I know that there are people that listen to this show and they take word back up in that building. I know that for so they know they got players that listen to the show. So I know that.
Yeah. I kind of believe that, because there's no way you get your first Super Bowl as a head coach 11 years ago, and then you have a complete utter drought, and you finally accumulate a matching a defense and an offense that's almost on the same wavelength, and then you have 3 playoff disasters.
Mm-hmm.
And you get complacent in your play calling, and as enough intelligence as he has, he got to understand that he has to do a better job at mixing the run and the pass. Not only that, knowing who to run on and who you can't run on. And frankly, you should run on everybody until they stop it, if they can stop it. If they can't, you exploit their weakness. That's what I would think an elite play caller would do. And I'm sure he's heard you call him Saggage, y'all. I
put his damn picture up there a moment ago.
Do we, is that Backer? What he got going?
I just think he getting old, bro. That I don't think that's tobacco. I don't think he chews. I know he likes the juicy fruit in, but I don't think he been able to chew it because, and all that stuff dealing with the C19 stuff. But I think it's age, man. He doing the Saggage thing like a Saint Bernard. But I think a lot of stuff that's going on with old Peyton, man, is that he getting old, man, and he getting hard in his thinking, bro, and that's a no-no. You got to be adjustable.
Yeah, man. That man can't afford college in Q.
I don't think he did. He said that Sean Payton feeling saying to himself that he's sexy with his St. Bernards, so he ain't worrying about nobody.
He got. I think he engaged, ain't it?
He got a lady with him. That Peyton, they said he ain't worrying about nothing. Hold on, brother Freddie. Thank you for calling us, Great Saint Think Tank family. Who on the line? Can you hear me, fam? Are you still on the line? All right. Hello. You on the line?
Yeah, hello. This is Iceman checking in.
Iceman, what's up, fam? All right, fam. Just hold tight. We got Freddie, Richard, bro, and I'm gonna get you on there in just a second. All right.
All right, for sure.
All right, thank you, Iceman. All right, brother Freddie. Back to you. We got the Iceman behind you, but go ahead, my brother, and you get the last word on it, my bro.
Yeah, but if we pull these next 3 off. We'll be sitting nice, and maybe I won't be so worried. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that looks good. Because after week 9, our schedule kind of get ugly.
Mm-hmm.
So this will be the prerequisite of our season here. If we get, these next 3 victories sitting at, 6, I'll take 6-2 at the halfway point. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like that mark too. 6-2 is pretty good.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna tell you, man, I messed around and caught the show when old boy D called in. Man, I hit 504 and got scared because I had a flashback. and then not only that, you got Hollywood on me, Q.
You thought I was gonna just hang up on just get your ass off of here. You know what, bro? I was, because listen, every now and again, bro, you got somebody gonna stir the drink, and that's when he came along.
Stir the drink.
He came along and stirred the drink. And had everybody up in here lit. I said, we got to bring him up here so we can lambaste him all the time. But see, he was right in his observation about Lattimore struggling, but he was extreme in his analogy. You don't then say that
he had to call him garbage.
Yeah, that's he's playing like garbage now is the proper way to tone it, but not say that he's garbage. And then he took it all the way back to his Ohio State days by saying that all them cornerbacks from Ohio State's overrated. And he got a point on that. But you can't say then that applies to him as well, because that's not the case. You can't then say that everybody from there is overrated and garbage, because they don't play nobody. They don't play nobody. You right on that. And I'm an SEC man, and I'll give you that. But at the same time, I still can't let you color the man or color the whole basket the same. That's not how it go. They got some guys that are better than others. Some guys that's ready for the big lights and the flashy stuff more than others. It's just how it goes. It depends on where you come from and what your mentality is. Sometimes people have it right away. Sometimes people take a time to develop it. But I had to give him credit toward the back end because he didn't change this analogy and then say, okay, he's not garbage, Q. And I say, is he a top 15? He said, not the way he's playing right now. So I had to keep it real with him. I let him speak his case. But unlike other measures in time, when you see me get on somebody, most of them guys were rival people that came here talking mess about the Saints, and they were from other teams. And you know I have
trolling.
Right. And when you do that, then you're gonna get the full rap of the great Saint think tank. I'm gonna slam it down on top of your head. And that's what I gave them. But he was to me, I didn't think he was done. He was just he was a little bit extreme in his argument. And of course nobody really truly agreed. And toward the back end, he recanted that statement. But Brother Freddie, man, I thank you for chiming in today, my brother. Thank you for all your great insight as well, my friend. Thank you for calling, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
And we'll talk to you later. Who that, bro?
All right, who that?
That's Brother Freddie chiming in. Iceman, are you still on the line, fam? Iceman, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, my brother. How you doing?
All right. I'm good, man. I was watching the whole show, man. I had a couple of things I want to talk about, man.
Come on with it,
Iceman. I got a list, folks.
All right. What you got, Iceman? Because I know I opened the second segment up about you, bro. Speaking about your topic that you said about the laddie daddy from the prior show when you spoke about him struggling playing, that we need to focus in on him and call him out as well. So, I gave you a shout out on that, on your commentary there, and you're absolutely right. But go ahead, Iceman, with your list, bro. What you got?
Yeah. Yesterday, man, my phone died, so I couldn't elaborate on it, but I'll elaborate more on that. But I wanted to talk more about just the Saints' moves and just the people that they're picking up, because I'm just gonna keep it 100, man. These are not Super Bowl moves, man. You can't show me these moves and tell me that we're trying the hardest we can to win a Super Bowl, because you're not. If you trying the hardest, I don't know who brought it up, but you try everything you can to go out there and get what's the guy's name? Watt from the Texans. You go out there and try to get that dude. You didn't. You was lazy with the Jadeveon Clowney debacle. You didn't put any hats in to get Jamal Adams, and it didn't even take that much to get him. And you won't even shoot your shot at Earl Thomas. Okay, I see what's going on here, folks. This is another case of, because this is what I'm really starting to think. I'm really starting to think that the Saints don't want to go out and get name brand players, because when you do that, the expectations rise. And I don't know if they want the expectations to be ratcheted up as high as they could be, because I don't know why they won't go get them, because the expectation should be Super Bowl in the first place. So I don't understand what's going on, but these are not Super Bowl moves, man. Like, you bring back Kent Cross, like, this is a joke. This is a joke, bruh. It's a joke, man. And I've been scratching my head, Q, because I'm a very, commonsensical person. How do you have the wit and the cleverness to go out there and get veterans and Malcolm Jenkins and the guy from the 49ers, Sanders. But then you hear the fan base or the family base, you hear us saying that we need help on the defense. And not only are we saying it, you can see it in the play. You can see it in the defensive play that we need help. And your answer is Kent Crawley. Your answer is bringing back Tommy Lee Lewis, bruh. Your answer is going out and getting these unknown guys. No disrespect to the guys, but this is a Super Bowl year. Why are we playing around with project players? We're playing around with players that we could see what they could become after they learn the system. This is not the year for that, folks. This is a all or nothing year, man. I'm not impressed with the moves that we've been making, man. For real. The defense, they need help, man. The line need help. We got a couple players that, they play good, but when they're on the field, but I'm just confused about all of that, man. And then what's going on with Michael Thomas with the hamstring, man? Because we know how the Saints play with the injury list, man. How do we know that the hamstring wasn't the ankle, man?
Yeah.
How do we know that the hamstring hasn't been a problem, man? Because the Saints are never 100 with the injury list, man. And then on top of that, that's disconcerting. But the moves, man, I'm not impressed with these bringing in these unknown players, man. This is not what you're supposed to do, man. When you tell us that we're in a Super Bowl or bust year, anything less than name brand players in free agency is uncivilized. Anything other than that is uncivilized, bruh. You don't go out there and get a Kent Crawley, bruh. For real, what is he supposed to do? Having him play in one game is totally different from an offensive coordinator planning on him being on the field, man. That's totally different. We saw what he was with what happened with him with the Raiders and the Cardinals. We saw what happened. They got rid of this dude, man. And I don't understand. Do the Saints even know that we don't have to do that no more? We don't have to settle for lesser players. We are a good organization now. We can go out and have players that want to come play for us. That's good. We don't have to settle for these backup ass, third string ass cornerbacks and all of that, man. I don't know why Sean Payton going bargain hunting when you need to be going. You need to stop bargain hunting and go your ass down to go shop at a real store, bruh. Let's get some name brand players up in here, man, and stop all this foolishness with these backup third string ass cornerbacks, man. You need help in the secondary. Go out there and get a veteran. You had Deidrick Nichols, but what again? What happened, folks? You had Deidrick Nichols, you had Nigel Bradham, but what happened? I want to see what the young guys could do. That's on top of the fact that we haven't seen Trotman and Vaughn, and don't even get me started on what he did with Ruiz, man. I thought you wanted to see what the young guys could do. Where the young guys at? Where's Trotman? Where's Vaughn? What happened to Ruiz? These are the young guys. See, man. See, this is the type of stuff that I've been writing down, man, because I've been jotting everything down. As far as this game, folks, you think Teddy Bridgewater isn't going to come in this place and try to light the building on fire? You think he's going to come in here and play with the Saints defense? You don't think that Carolina is looking at this Saints secondary as horrible as they've been playing and looking at them licking their chops after they just had they had to win against the Chargers, but that was against a rookie-ass backup, rookie-ass backup-ass quarterback. And he did that to the Saints. 4 touchdowns, folks.
Yep.
What would Teddy Bridgewater do? Who's a little bit more experienced? And they running your offense over there, bruh. They running your offense, and somehow Carolina understand to be more balanced than you. And that's why I'm disappointed in Sean Payton, bruh. I'm disappointed in Sean Payton because you know why? I look over here at the Tennessee Titans, man. Tennessee Titans, folks, we could look at all the names on the Tennessee Titans. On paper, they don't have as much talent as the Saints do. But you know what? They got a coach that understands how to use that 6'3" battering ram called Derrick Henry. That's what they know how to do. Run the ball and play defense. I don't understand why I can't get Sean Payton to understand that. I don't understand what it is. Like, man, I'm over it, Q. I hate to be going off, bro, but I'm over it, bro. I'm over the moves because now I feel like they're trying to play with us, bro. I feel like they're really assaulting our intelligence with these great value players, bro. This is not. You don't say, and multiple players have already said it. Super Bowl or bust. This is not what you do in the Super Bowl or bust here, man. You're supposed to be on the phone trying to get all the talent that you can muster up, man. Look at what Baltimore did. Did you see what Kansas City did? Look at what Tennessee did. I mean, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Like, for real, what are we doing here, folks? We just think that we just going to stampede through the NFC South like we did last year? And Carolina and Tampa Bay and no other team's going to have nothing to say about it? Nah, bro. This is not what you do. This reeks of a lot of arrogance. This reeks of a lot of denial. It reeks of a lot of no accountability, man. No accountability because you don't make moves like this. If Super Bowl is really what you aspire to get, you would be on the phone right now trying to trade for J.J. Watt. You would have put up your hand in the hat to get Jadeveon Clowney and not did it as lazy as you did it. You would be on the phone trying to get Earl Thomas. You see that this secondary is struggling. It's time to sit down Marcus Williams, man. I don't want to hear anyone else tell me nothing about no ball hawk, man. I don't want to hear nobody tell me nothing about no ball hawk, man. This dude don't be getting no interceptions like that this season, and I'm seeing more of the same, man. I'm seeing him get blown up at the goal line. I'm seeing him, getting ran over, taking poor angles. It's more of the same, man. And I could go off on what was it, Thor? I could go off on him and Caden Ellis as well, but I'll save that for another family member to do. All I know is I'm tired of seeing Caden Ellis get beat at the goal line and the bootleg and the tight end is wide open at the goal line. I'm tired of seeing that. But you know what? We had a 9-year veteran with a Super Bowl ring on the team named Nigel Bradham. But let Sean Payton tell it, he wanted to see what the young guys could do. He wanted to see what the young guys could do. As for Marshawn Lattimore, man, it's time to put up a shut-up, man. I understand that he got a hamstring. And once again, I want to make my position clear on Marshawn Lattimore. I don't think that the man is garbage. I think you may have a point with is it a culmination of things? Is it a combination of he knows that he won't get benched and, people sing his praises? Because, see, that's what's been going on. We sing his praises because we see him lock down people in our division, and we see him play good. But we got to call his ass out too because we call everybody else out. Hell, I call out Jackrabbit. I call out Marshawn. I call out all of these people, man, because we have to hold everybody accountable. Everybody needs to be under the same umbrella of accountability, man, period. I don't give a damn about your Pro Bowls. I don't give a damn about none of that. What I care about is a Super Bowl. And that is you win that as a team. You don't win that as an individual, man. So Marshawn, I don't want to see him getting beat by these third-string ass receivers no more, man. Because you know why? He's better than that. And he should be, and he is better than that. He's better than those third-string receivers. It's absolutely embarrassing seeing him get, beat deep by Lazard. What's going on? And like I told y'all before, Dennis Allen, I forget the other, Aaron Glenn, they both bear some culpability in that. But at the end of the day, where's the fire and desire to say that I don't give a damn who's lined up in front of me, I will not be denied. I will shut this side of the field down. I will wreak havoc until the clock hit 000. Where is that at in this defense, man? I don't see one person setting the tone in this secondary, man. Not one person, man. Not one. I don't see one person setting the tone. Where's the guy that's delivering the remember me shot? Where is the guy that's looking and making these receivers think twice? Where is that dude at? Where is the dog that's gonna put these that is gonna clamp these receivers up and put them in handcuffs the whole game? I haven't seen any of that, man, and that's disconcerting because this is the same system, and it's been 4 years, bro, and it's more the same. And I'm gonna end on this, man, because I've been watching Saints football a long time. But I'm going to pose this question to the family members, and I'm going to stop going off, man. Why can't the Saints have a quality defense? We look around. You see Tampa Bay's defense getting better. You see Baltimore. They always have a good defense. You look around, and you see, like, Pittsburgh, their defense plays well. All these teams with young guys, they implement the rookies in there and let them get experience. Why can't the Saints ever have a quality defense? We can go back and the literal comments that we're making about the secondary defensive line and some of the linebacker play, we could copy and paste those same comments to 3-4 years ago. Same thing. Rinse and repeat. Same thing. Over and over again. The defense. Now, it's not just the defense. It's Sean Payton, too. But I told y'all how I feel about Sean Payton. Look at what the Tennessee Titans are doing. They don't have as much talent as the Saints do. But you know what they do? They run the ball, and they play good defense. And on that note, man, I'm going to get out of here, man. Because now I feel like they're insulting us, Q. They're insulting the family base, man, with all this great value, throwing great value all over the place, man. This is not what you do in the Super Bowl to bust here, man. This is not what you do, man. But when it come down to the come down, all I know is the defense need to get this secondary straight because I don't want to see no I'll say it again. I don't want to see no deep passes, and I'm tired of holding my breath every time I see the ball go deep, getting past Marcus Williams, man. I'm tired of seeing them give up, the Saints march the ball down the field or for a field goal or a touchdown, and then we got to hope and cross our fingers that the defense would, or at least the secondary would just hold up. I'm tired of seeing that, man. And that's the real, bro, for real. Cause enough's enough, man. You know what I'm saying? You're 3-2. You're 3-2. You should be 5-0. Or 4-1, at least 4-1, 5-0. That's where you should be at. You can't tell me that the Saints they shouldn't be as good as some of the big dogs in this league, like the Kansas City, and what the Tennessee Titans are doing right now. They should be on par with those guys, man. But we got to coach that for whatever reason, man. And I think you hit the nail on the head, Q. He has a passing addiction, man. This dude got an addiction. He will not run the football, and even if he runs the football, the problem is he won't stick to it. He won't let it develop into something. He won't let the running game mature so that you can, inflict the passing game. If you would just let it develop, you could have the passing game. You broke it down beautiful, Q. If you run the football, everybody comes down. They got to play the run, and then you can – you know what, man? I'm done, Q. All right, man. Go ahead and talk, man. I'm off the line, brother. Who that, man?
All right, Iceman. Appreciate you, bro. Who that? That's the Iceman. And Iceman ain't ice right now. You call him the fireman right now because he balling upset. But he got a lot of great points. Thank you, Iceman. We got another family member on the line. Thank you for calling the Great Saint Think Tank, fam. We on the line.
Hey, Q, this is Ernest. How you doing, friend?
What's up, Professor? How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well, man. It's good to hear your voice.
Same to you, my brother. How is everything going? Everything's well?
Everything's going well. Well. Definitely blessed. What I want to say is I know that everybody's on Marshawn Lattimore, and rightfully so. I think a lot has to do with the chemistry. I think because remember the last couple of years they had the Ohio State crew out there. They had Eli Apple and they had Von Bell out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally think that the Saints are missing Von Bell because he was the he was a leader. He had a lot of fire and stuff, and we expecting a lot out of Marshawn Lattimore, and he don't have the fire. Like you said, he's laid back. And the thing about it is that they were communicating when Von Bell was back there, and they're not doing that now. I know they replaced Von Bell with Malcolm Jenkins, but I agree with what Bob Rose said. He is not playing well at all, and they should have kept Von Bell. He found the ball. When any time that ball hit the ground, Von Bell was there. He may not have been able to cover well, but he was in the position to pick the ball up and pick up any fumbles or anything like that. So I think it had a lot to do with it. And we know we pick on Eli Apple, but he's better than what they have out right now. Period.
Yeah, you're right on that, Professor.
Yeah, because we were complaining about Eli Apple, but when Eli Apple was out there before he lost his confidence, he was shutting the other side of the field down, and Lattimore was playing better because they went to college. All three of them went to college together. That had a lot to do with it. Is the communication was a lot better than it is right now. I mean, that's a lot to do with it. And so, and I think a lot has to do with the money too, Q. On the 2017 draft class, who was the first person that got paid? The third round draft pick was the first one that got paid with Kamara.
Mm-hmm.
That has a lot to do with. I mean, you got Lattimore got drafted before him. They're not even thinking about him. Marcus Williams go without saying, he's a second round pick. You got Ramczyk. He's not getting paid. It doesn't matter if you roll that final year over. They paid Alvin Kamara before they paid anybody else. And I don't care what they say, that has a lot to do with ego.
Yep.
And a lot of people are a lot of people on that secondary, you could tell they're not playing as well as they were. Even Alvin was not playing well last year like he did what he was this year. They paying money, he's on fire. Same way with Michael Thomas. You pay him, he gets motivated. So I think it has a lot to do with it. Is that these guys on their contract year, even Marcus Williams, he had to change agents because they weren't giving him any attention. I don't know why he thinks the Saints won't give him attention because he's not doing anything. But the bottom line is that they got to figure who they need to pay. And I guarantee if you pay Lattimore, that's gonna motivate.
Yeah.
And that's the bottom line is he's wondering like, what about me? You say I'm the franchise cornerback, and you're not paying me. You're paying the running back before you pay me. And at the bottom line, that's what they're here for. They're here to get paid. They're here to get that second contract. And if we talk about he's the best cornerback the Saints have ever had, we need to pay him, regardless of how he's playing. He is the best. He's the best cornerback the Saints have ever put on the field. Period. But the bottom line is, I like what Iceman said. There's no competition for him. I love what he said last night about that. There's no competition for him, and he's one of the few players that the Saints won't put any competition with. John Clayton to bring all these people in and compete with everybody else, but secondary, he won't compete with anybody, whether it's P.J. Williams or Patrick Robinson or any of these people. I don't know why. Everybody else he'll put competition in and motivate everybody, but that secondary, nothing. And I still say that we still should focus on Aaron Glenn, because if you have a manager, Q, managing people, and they're not producing, who are they going to get rid of? They're not going to get rid of the CEO. They're going to get rid of the manager.
Mm-hmm.
And since Aaron Glenn's been there, they have regressed. Every last one of those, the secondary has regressed. None of them have got better. And I'll give you an example. Look at Ryan Nielsen. They brought him in. That defensive line improved light years.
Yep.
Because Bill Johnson was like Aaron Glenn. He was just collecting a paycheck. He was like Joe Vitt. When you brought Mike Nolan in, it's amazing how the linebackers got better. Joe Vitt was there for years. Not a single linebacker got to the Pro Bowl. Not one. Mm-hmm. So I mean, the bottom line is you got to look at you got to look at Aaron Glenn. We can blame these players all we want. We got to look at him because he's the one back there teaching them all these techniques. You can't. And how can Marshawn Lattimore go from being one of the best players in the league his rookie year to third? He don't know where he's at. Period. So the bottom line is that we got to look at Aaron Glenn because he's the one coaching these guys, and they're one of the worst units that the Saints got, and they have not replaced him. They replaced everybody else, but they have not replaced him at all. They brought him in and saying he's the next coming, and they've got worse. And we do nothing but complain about the secondary all the time, and they won't replace him. Remember when Curtis Johnson left for Tulane? You saw how the receivers were dropping everything. They were running wrong routes and all that stuff on the John Morton.
Yep.
They brought him back, and they hadn't dropped anything.
Yep.
Remember the offensive line was in shambles. They brought a new offensive line coach in.
Yep.
Running backs were dropping some. They brought in Joel Thomas. So anything that Sean Payton has seen that need to improve, he's replaced everybody except for Aaron Glenn. And I'm tired. And remember the secondary. Remember the special teams. How many times did Sean Payton rolled out the special teams coach? How many times? He brought Mike Westhoff back to improve the secondary. He brought Rizzi over from Miami to improve the secondary, to improve the special teams. But he has not addressed the secondary coach, not one time, not once.
That's true.
And the thing about it is that Sean Payton he even emptied out the front office when they were messing up, making all those bad draft picks. That's when he brought Jeff Ireland in. But he's not saying anything to Aaron Glenn, and they're the worst. I mean, you can't miss assignments like that, and none of them are getting fussed at or anything like that. None of them are getting coached.
Yep.
So I mean, it's just that until we address that secondary, we're in trouble. We are in trouble. I mean, the defensive line is playing well. Linebackers playing well. The secondary is playing atrocious. Period. And we can't. It doesn't matter how much of a pass rush you get on there. If a man's running wide open, what can we do?
Yep, you brother, Professor Ernest, you on point with it. I mean, you're absolutely spot on, and it's glaring too, And you're right. When they got guys running open in the secondary uncovered, man, it's seafood city. It's buffet time for the opposing offense. They're gonna eat that. It's just too easy, man. That's just too easy for professional football QB to not pass up on a guy streaking down the field wide open with miscommunication issues. Five games into the season is problematic. So, they had a week to iron out the wrinkles, and we're gonna have to see how this plays, because the communication issues, the fact that none of them looking good, is part scheme in my opinion. But you're right, something has to be done, and I think Glenn is Dennis Allen's guy. I think that's one of his favorite guys. But I think the Glenn dilemma will take care of itself, because eventually I think somebody will pull him off here for a coordinator position somewhere. So I think we'll end up losing. We almost lost him. What was it, a year before last, when somebody was interested in pulling him out of here, and he stayed. So I think probably this year will be the last year we have of Aaron Glenn, if that's any comfort to anybody. But I mean, you're absolutely right, Professor Ernest. I mean, I can't, I agree wholeheartedly with you. They have to do a better job back there with that secondary. I mean, listen, there's no excuse for a veteran. These guys are at least 4 or 5 years in the NFL apiece. Even if you talk about Lattimore, he's 4 years, and Marcus Williams is 4 years, and these are not rookies. Guys have, it's not supposed to look this bad, in other words. You've been in the same system for 4 years under Dennis Allen. You've been in Williams has been here for 4 seasons. Marshawn Lattimore's been here. Jenkins just got here, but he's in some spots you see him looking better. Jenkins just got here, but he has a familiarity of what they're trying to do. So I mean, it's just they got to get it together, man. They are a real problem back there. It'll be interesting to see because they got a nice little test against this Carolina offense, this clone offense that Carolina's running. We'll see what they made of, man. But boy, they got to step it up.
And there's a lot of good corners and safeties out there. And I agree with you that why they're not looking at Eric Reed, I have no idea. Regardless of how Malcolm Jenkins and him don't get along, if they talking about winning the Super Bowl, you got to get him in there. Forget Earl Thomas; he's a cancer. He's nothing but trouble. But you bring in Eric Reed, there's nothing wrong with him, and he'll make a statement back there.
Yeah, I love I've said that. I've loved Eric Reed. I mean, he's a former LSU guy. I love that angle. Then he's smart. He's in the prime of his career right now. You can come in there. Really intelligent hitter, knows what plays the angles. I mean, he's the perfect guy. He'll work for you for cheap. I mean, he can come in and really help. But I think that was kind of pushed out because of the fact that he called Jenkins a sellout. And I guess if you do bring him in here, they would have to obviously make peace. But that's I don't think Sean Payton does it. I don't think Sean Payton brings any name guys in. I agree with the Iceman and what we talked about earlier. It's about the fact we calling it. The Great Saint Think Tank is calling it, man. We talked about pass rushers. We talked about cornerbacks. We talked about players like that. And the Saints go out and get the players that the Great Saint Think Tank said to get. But they don't go and get the name brand. They go out and get players that won't help the team. You go out and get this kid they just picked up today. What would this kid do? I mean, Sean Payton will not put this man, he won't get an opportunity to get on the field to participate. But if you have a name brand player like Clay Matthews and you practice squad him, when you need that pass rush, a lot of people will say, why is Clay Matthews on the practice squad? And I think it's a bit of denial going on here. It's a lot of denial. Matter of fact, it's a lot of denial going on down here because you're supposed to be able to look at your team, objectively, be able to look at them without any bias and say, oh, we did this, that, and the third. When the season started, the Saints were considered one of the best and deepest teams in the NFL. As the season progressed, the Saints have had communication issues, schematic issues. Then at the top of all that is the fact that the coach ain't making it no easy with his inability to balance the offense. I mean, when you got an out-of-balance attack, you got all those defensive guys spending more time than what they're supposed to be spending on the field. And, of course, that's going to help with the breakdowns. That's also going to help with the penalties. That's also going to help with the miscommunication issues. They're tired and they start holding and grabbing each other, grabbing the wide receiver or the tight end or whoever they're guarding because that's what the coach told them to do. We would rather you get a pass interference than to give up a touchdown. That's what they tell them in practice. But the reality at the end of the day is they have to be able to fix that some kind of way. And the next 3 offenses you're going against are pretty good offenses. You're looking at Carolina with the copycat Saint offense. You're looking at the Bears, and they starting to throw it around the field. How they've been looking over the last few weeks or so. They are one of the top teams in the NFC. And then you get Tampa Bay, what they're doing, when they're slinging the ball over the field. So the offense will be severely tested over the next 3 weeks. And then behind that, you got the 49ers. So, I mean, we have to be able to find the answer. And if we ain't found the answer over this weekend, Professor Ernest, and be able to at least eliminate the damn deep ball. If you can't do nothing else as a secondary, at least take the deep ball out of their hands and allow everything to play up front. And that's what I'm anticipating. I'm anticipating that Dennis Allen's going to play. He's going to play the 2 safeties high. He's going to keep everything in front of him because that's predominantly his game plan is anyway. When he gets a little too cutesy, but that might work if the Saints could be able to get pressure on the quarterback consistently. We'll see. But man, Dennis Allen, man, you're right. We need an infusion of new talent in the secondary, not only players as well. And just to play devil's advocate, Professor, and I want you to kind of give me your thought on it, is that a part of the stinking or the rotting of what the secondary is representing this year, the shortcomings, you look at who they have back there. You got P.J. Williams, Patrick Robinson, and Ken Crawley. All of these guys are failures because they were guys that were drafted high to be starters, and they never panned out to be nothing more than nickelbacks. And other guys, well, not Ken, especially Crawley. Crawley was undrafted, who beat out P.J. Williams for a starting job some years ago. But you have guys that at one point in time failed at the cornerback position for New Orleans. P.J. Williams, they never truly got rid of him. They brought him back for cheaper and then try to redefine him as a utility player, which is not working right now. You look at Patrick Robinson, former first-round draft pick out of Florida State, bust. In my opinion, he was not. The best he ever was a nickelback in Philly system. You move him into the Saints years, on the second term of the Saints years, complete bust. More disappointment, just like it was in the first series he was here, the first years he was here. Look at Ken Crawley, the undrafted guy who took PJ's job. He started out well, lost his confidence, fundamentally flawed. He got found out, never truly regained that confidence, and never truly fixed his technique. You think you can get away with that? That quarterback's not going to know that you're a guy that don't know how to turn your head around and locate the ball? That you're just a guy that just don't want to get burnt? You don't look to make a play? They throw at you all the time. So you got these guys and they fail. He was released and let go. He played for two teams, then brought back sneakily. So that's the thing. Is it a result of the lesser talent? Because the Saints show didn't play a guy who has potential like Keith Washington. People say, well, Keith Washington's not better than Ken Crawley. How would you know unless you put him on the field? You don't know what you have in Keith Washington until you give an opportunity to play. What if you had a guy like Keith Washington that's on the practice squad who comes onto the active roster and has a similar impact on the team like, say, another undrafted guy like Deontay Harris had as a kick returner, punt returner? You would never know unless you give these guys a fair opportunity. So let me ask you this, Professor. Is it a product of the garbage cornerbacks, of the poor recycling jobs that we have here at the position? Because when you get behind Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, who was really brought in to be a safety, the Saints had the idea so we could play him at cornerback too. But he was really supposed to be the safety. Now he's playing the nickelback because the Saints' ability to land decent cornerbacks, young guys, have failed so flawlessly. Is that a part of why they're stinking it up too on the back end, in your opinion?
I think that they're stinking it up because what Sean wants to do, and this is my opinion to you, is that he wants people who are familiar with the system. If you're familiar with the system, he doesn't want to teach. He thinks that if you put a rookie back there like Marcus Williams was a few years ago, that there's going to be mistakes made. So he's not giving Keith Washington even a look. So he thinks if he brings back Ken Crawley, because Ken Crawley knows the system, that they'll get better. And we all know that that's a mistake. You should never bring these retreads back. Not even Malcolm Jenkins.
Hey.
Malcolm Jenkins is doing the same thing Marcus Williams is doing. He's taking these bad angles. Patrick Robinson, he was bad when he first hit. He was bad when he was here before, like you said. The bottom line is that he's trying to go with what's familiar because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And he needs to just let these guys go, because we all know that you put Patrick Robinson on the outside, you put P.J. Williams on the outside. That's an instant 7 points. They're gonna be knocking their head against the goalpost. Period. And that's all he wants out there. That's why he brought Malcolm Jenkins back. He wants people who are familiar with the system, that they don't have to do any teaching. But that's all that stuff's backfired because they still can't cover anybody. So you might as well go on and throw out Keith Washington, go and throw him out there, and let him make his mistakes, because there's no worse than what we have out here now.
Yeah,
and they should have went ahead and kept Eli Apple. They should have went ahead and kept him, because they brought in these older players and they all getting hurt. like Jackrabbit. Jackrabbit got hurt quick. They could have had Eli Apple out there, and they could have paid. And what they paid Malcolm Jenkins. They could have kept Von Bell. Period. If they gonna do that, they might as well go younger. And quit putting these toast players out there like PJ and Patrick. Stop putting them out there because they can't cover regardless. Whether it's slot, whether it's outside, neither one of them can cover because they're gonna get toasted up. Period. But we gotta stick with them because that's all we got right now. And Ken Crawley, he should have never been brought back. Ever.
Yeah, you, Professor, I love it, man. I love the facts. I love the intensity. And as always, the professor is always on point, dropping the knowledge, man. And I agree with the professor 100%, man. That you're right.
Appreciate you.
Ken Crawley shouldn't have been brought back here. I was speaking against it. He has nothing to offer the Saints that they couldn't find with a guy like Kavion Webster or a guy like Keith Washington. At least you'll have a guy, give a young guy an opportunity to be able to learn the position from a third or fourth. And if you got a young player, I would love to see him at the dime position. You know, him getting game reps and you seeing him there and then you work him in there slowly. But this Washington kid has talent, you know, and it's a shame that he's not getting opportunity. Or if the Saints don't see anything, that's Mo Claiborne, Kavion Webster. That's even Tremaine Johnson out there. I mean, Tremaine Johnson will work for cheap. 6'2", former cornerback with all kind of experience, big old physical cornerback who you can use to play in wherever you need him in the nickel, whatever. You can use Chauncey somewhere else. Maybe we could slide him back to safety where we really would need this expertise. But the Saints continue to play around with these guys. I don't understand. I keep saying I don't know why PJ Williams, he could tackle, but really you play him at the safety position. He can't cover the tight ends. And if you have a guy, a defensive back who can't cover wide receivers, he can't cover running backs, he can't cover the tight ends, seriously, what good is he? I mean, what good is he? And Ken Crawley is a mistake. Patrick Robinson should have been released as opposed to reworked. He should have been released and we just had to eat the dead money. But, I mean, the thing is, why have these guys, you bringing these guys back here, you bring them in here, and then, of course, the draft goes by. You could have addressed this. You could have addressed several issues on the defense with talent from the draft. They had cornerbacks there that were pretty good when the Saints picked Ruiz at 24. We didn't have to go with Ruiz. We could have made something else shake and didn't have to spend that draft pick on a center who you knew you wasn't going to put him at the center. When he came into camp, the first move should have been to centerize him, not to play him at guard and keep McCoy there. You seen what McCoy looked like for all of the year. You knew what McCoy looked like. That wasn't the issue. The issue was making McCoy the guard and giving that kid all the advantage that he needed to learn the position. That didn't work out. Now you got a center playing guard, the center that's supposed to be guard playing center. You weakened your offensive line because Larry Warford, regardless of what they say, you weakened the line because Warford was a 3 straight year Pro Bowler. How do you ask a rookie who never played the guard position to fill those type of shoes? You know? So, I mean, it's insane to me. We squandering a bit here. The secondary, the defensive back, over the last several years, the Saints have squandered draft picks and not have developed the defensive backs into anything, and they continue to do it. They got rid of Saquon Hampton, who was a promising young safety. He was dealing with injuries, but you could have stashed him on the practice squad. He had potential. Prior drafts, the Saints had defensive backs that they just released. You know, these guys could have actually been some effective force in the secondary. You're building up a young core of people as opposed to going through retreads like Robinson, Crawley, and PJ Williams. There is no future with those guys there. So I agree with you. And we just need to totally revamp. I think the cornerback position is safe. And the truth be told, that might be the case next year because if you look at the safeties, everybody except for Jenkins' contract is up. They got to do something. Swearinger's he only had a 1-year deal. Jenkins has a 4-year deal, can break down in 2 years. Saints going to get rid of Jenkins after next year. I mean, they're not going to pay Jenkins. I mean, the contract, you can break off the contract after the 2-year mark, and they can get Jenkins for 2 years as opposed to 4. That's the move they're gonna make. But Marcus Williams his contract is up. Swearinger's contract is up. JT Gray's on a 1-year deal, and he's not a serious contender for a safety spot. So the safety situation is in a state of flux, and we damn sure don't want Marcus Williams here. He's switching agents so that he can get paid. That's the same thing that Alvin Kamara did. The same thing that several other players did when they want to get paid. They switch agents. He did it early in the season so it don't become a distraction late. But he told us the agent that I could tell you what he want. He's going to look at Buda Baker's money. And I told people that last show and prior to that, I said, listen, if you switching agents, you're looking to get paid. Bottom line. And it might not be from the Saints because he could struggle here, but he's going to make the comparison to show that his statistics up against Buda Baker's stats, and he does have better stats than Buda Baker, which would justify the money increase, which I don't think he'll get because, A, next year the salary cap decreases exponentially. People are going to look to offset that by either they're going to restructure contracts and they're going to use the draft capital they have to take guys in the draft in the cheaper route, and also looking at the undrafted market too. Whoever don't get drafted will be a serious place to find cheap but talented players like we have with Deontay Harris, Malcolm Roach, and so on and so forth. So, I mean, listen, Marcus Williams, hasta la vista to you, fam. You know, I just, listen, if he cleans it up and plays better, and I still have faith in him, I'm going to give it to Marcus Williams, you know, because there's still a lot of season left. So he can change. The defense will change. Will he be a part of a major resurgence? We'll see. But that's a lot to ask Marcus Williams to overcome, because I see fear in you, young Skywalker, to use my old Star Wars, the movie terms. There's a lot of fear in Marcus Williams there, Professor. And if he was a Jedi, he'd be like with Anakin Skywalker. He had a lot of fear in him. He had a lot of fear in him, and that lends toward the wrong side of things and not the right. He can't be fearful in the trenches like that, and I don't think he's fearful. He doesn't know how to tackle, and I just don't think that's something you get over. You don't learn how to tackle in 1 year on this team. That's something that you learn instinctually what hit to hit somebody with. That's not something you write. That's a floor of the game type of thing. And the fact that he has no confidence of that, that's very sterling. That's why I say we don't need to pay him. We need to make a move on him, or either trade him, get him on up out of here, let him be somebody else's stuff. But if the trade deadline coming up soon, if you know you're not going to keep Marcus Williams, you ought to trade him and get something for him, because you'll find somebody who will want to take him. You know, you might want to try to get something for him, because you know you're not going to pay Marcus Williams. We better not pay Marcus Williams. We damn sure can't pay Marcus Williams, Ryan Ramczyk, and Laddie Daddy. Somebody got to be on the out end of that. And Lattimore, I believe more in Lattimore than I do in Williams. I'm just gonna keep it real. And also Ramczyk. I believe in those guys more than I believe in a guy like Jenkins, who's just been the hurt of some of the worst Saints memories of recent memory, Professor. But you know, I turn the floor over to you, my friend.
I agree with you. Agree with you 100%, Q. Oh, you talk about the center position. They could have waited until the third round to get the LSU center.
Yeah, Kissenberry.
And still draft. That's right. That's right. And he's much better than Reeves. Much better. And he'll be there for the next 10 years, 10 to 15 years. And the problem is they drafted Troutman not even playing him. They gave up three or four picks for him.
Yep.
That could have been some secondary help, linebacker help. But
that's true.
They traded. So Sean's got nobody to blame but himself, because he's the one pulling the trigger on all this stuff. This is his draft because he's running the show. Period. And the throw Warford under the bus last year when the whole offensive line was hurt was ridiculous.
Yep.
It was ridiculous. But like you said, if you're gonna pay anybody, the first person you should line up is Ryan Ramczyk. I'd have paid him before I paid Kamara, because he's gonna be your future left tackle anyway.
Yep.
Period. He's the best lineman they got. Hands down. It ain't even close. It's not even close. because you can flip him from right tackle. Remember his rookie year, they had him at the left tackle, moved him to the right tackle, moved him back to the left tackle, and he didn't skip a beat. Why you not paying him first? I have no idea. Because he's consistent. And when you talked about trading people, you're absolutely right. If they're not going to pay him, they should trade him and see what you can get for him.
Right.
On the defensive line, they might want to consider trading Sheldon Rankins, because they got enough on the defensive line, whether it's Onyemata, Tuttle, Malcolm Roach, who's Sheldon Rankin Jr., because he's just like him.
Yep.
And why you not giving Malcolm Roach some playing time? I have no idea.
I don't understand that.
He flashes.
Right.
I mean, he comes off that line, and he means business. He ain't taking his time.
Right. I don't get that, Professor.
And gone and put Hendrickson out there, man, because he's playing some ball this year.
Yep.
He is. He's playing some ball. Leave him on out there. So I mean, I have no problem with the defensive line. I got no problem with the linebackers. I don't. It's a secondary that is atrocious. And we all know we can talk about the running game all we want. But Sean Payton over the last 5 to 10 years don't want to run the ball. He just don't. He sees the head coach on the other side, whoever it might be, or it could be the lights of Sunday night football, Monday night football. He gonna bring his ego out, which means he gonna throw the ball. Period. He gonna try to get cute by throwing Taysom Hill with those running packages, which he needs to get rid of. If Taysom Hill if he can't step back and throw the ball, then we need to put him on the sideline. Period. Because everybody knows what's gonna happen. A blind man can see what's gonna happen. He's gonna try to run and try to make something happen. He's not gonna look. Period. And Sean Payton he's got his ego out. You watch Sunday. Joe Brady's on the other end. Watch what Sean Payton does. He's gonna try to look cute instead of running the ball.
Yeah, that it might. I hope it don't become a Kyle Shanahan moment. You know, and that's something that was coming to bear while I was thinking about it. And I'll make mention of that point more on Friday's show. But I'm hoping that it don't become a Kyle Shanahan moment where he's trying to outdo the guy and he's not paying attention to any assets of running the ball or trying to protect his defense with the offense. So
he did that at Green Bay, Q.
Right.
The coach at the other end, what did he do? He tried to be cute to run the ball. John Gruden was on the other side with Vegas. What did he do? He tried to get cute.
Yep.
Joe Brady, he's gonna try to get cute.
That's
Anybody he feels that is the next coming, whether it's Sean McVay, Sean Payton's gonna flip that card over. I don't know why. When he's got Latavius Murray back there, he's just wasting him away. He really is, when he should be handing in the ball, because that's an easy 4 yards, 5 yards. Easy. Because I mean, every time he don't fumble. Remember, and I'll end with this so you can talk to the other people. Remember when Mark Ingram, that was his problem with Mark Ingram, because Mark Ingram would fumble. Mm-hmm. Mark Ingram would go into the doghouse.
Right.
When's the last time you've seen Latavius Murray fumble the ball?
I haven't seen him fumble the ball, Professor. To be honest with you,
haven't seen. Yeah, he's listening, because he'll put Latavius in for the first play. Watch every game. He'll put him in the first play, hand him the ball, then take him out.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's Alvin Kamara time. Every time. Or when he gets down by 14 points or 20 points. Oh, okay, I remember the running game. Or he's down like he was 1-2. I think I should run the ball 40 times. Now I'm 2-2. I'll go back doing my cute stuff again. So it's the same thing with Sean. We'll talk about this every time. He will get cute, and when he stops getting cute and just hand the ball off, and quit trying to have Drew pass 40 and 50 times.
Yeah, we should know better than that, man. We should know coming off the bat that you can't have a 41-year-old quarterback throwing it 48 times in a game. I mean, that
Yeah,
should.
my concern, my concern, Q, is Chicago's going to be Drew's first game outside. I want to see his arm strength on the outside because he's played in domes the whole time. That's what I want to see. I want to see because everybody's talking about his arm strength, whether he's lost it, whether he's on the decline and stuff. We're gonna find out in Chicago what's up with his arm strength.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. So,
well, Professor, you once again, man, you're always spot on with the analysis, straight up, and the professor, man, dropping the knowledge on the Great Saint Think Tank, man, Professor. I agree with 100% of what you're saying, my brother. I mean, you are spot on as usual.
It's my pleasure, Q. You have a good night, okay?
Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. Who that to you, bro?
Who they?
All right, that's the professor, man. Chiming in. Big ups to the professor, man. Man, listen, we listen, and that's the last call right there, family. But listen, I want to shout out to the professor, man. That was deep. Iceman dropping the knowledge, brother Freddie. The family came and real passionate commentary, family. Very passionate commentary from the family members tonight, man. And listen, they are serious. I want to give a shout out to Tim too. Thank you, Tim, for your super chat, my friend. Thank you. He says, Big Q, all I have to say is I'm so thankful we don't have to face the Titans in the playoffs. Thank you, Tim. Appreciate your super chat, my man. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you for that. And also thank you, Crass, for your sharing of the links in the chat as well, my friend. Thank you for your assistance with that. Much love to you and Brother Torrey as well and the rest of the family members helping out in the chat. But you heard what the family members say, man, they are spot on. Great. See, that's some of the best of the Great Saint Think Tank chiming in right there. Passion and knowledge, wisdom, just methodically, just marching along the topics and fact after fact after fact after fact. And that's what, that's why I call methodics. I call it methodics. When you are progressively and on point, just releasing and hitting with key point after key point after key point after key point after key point. Just straight hardcore analogy. Love it. And I appreciate and thank every last one of the Great Saint Think Tank family members for chiming in tonight and the family members in the chat. Beautiful and well said, man, once again. We got to that was the last comment there. We're going to get ready to shut the show down. But before we go, I just want to give a shout out to all the family members and let them know about the new gear available at the pro shops. 2 rushes, first down. 2 rushes, first down. 2 rushes, first down. 2 rushes. And we ain't building no spaceships over here. So run the ball, Peyton. We ain't building spaceships. Run the ball. Both of them are available. They're available in all kind of colors, sizes, not just black and white tees. They're available in several sizes, 5X to little sizes available. Go to the pro shop and check them out. And remember, all the proceeds from the pro shop goes to help out the platform as we moving forward. Big ups to the rest of the family members as well. Big ups to the family. And also let the family members know about Pro Radio. That's right, Pro Radio. Go to Pro Radio, Spreaker.com/the Sports Coma. Link in the description section below. As well as the merch shops are also available there. And you can listen to all of the shows on the audio format. And plus, there are a lot of shows going back into the archives that you can listen to on Pro Radio from all the shows. Sports Coma, Pelican Post Game Report, Ring Kings, Boxing World, and Tough Tiger Talk, all available at Pro Radio. Check it out. Link in the description. Patreon is in the building as well. Big ups to all the Patreon family members, the Patreon champions. Much love to you guys for your support and everything that you are doing. And our YouTube guys, our YouTube members as well, as we continue to climb. And those new features will be available. I know Jim Kev was asking me about that. And I think I forgot another. Maybe it was Larry or somebody was asking me about the YouTube Facebook thing. We'll be tomorrow will be our first show where we'll be doing Facebook Live. So we'll be doing that. We're rolling that out tomorrow. I think that was Brother Larry. Let me know in the chat who was advising that. I think that was Larry. Big ups to you, Larry, matter of fact. And, just to let you know, we'll be Facebooking live through, all this kind of stuff. There's a lot of technical jargon, but we'll be doing that tomorrow. And also to let GM Kev know that he was asking about extra spots on the YouTube membership. There'll be 2 spots that'll be available by Saturday. Those will be online for Saturday. And there'll be 2 additional spots that'll be available, family, just to let the family members know, as we do take your suggestions into heart. And if you want to help out the platform, go to patreon.com/the Pro Media Network. Join up. $1 a month really wouldn't hurt you. $5 a month, whatever's in your heart to give. It helps out the platform. It really does. And it helps us move in the right direction. As you know, we're serious about Saint Talk. And also, big ups to the sponsors. Big ups to the sponsors. Big up to the sponsors. And our in-show sponsor, which is GetLifeMask.com. You can feel free to go to GetLifeMask.com and they sell different masks, but this is some of the premier masks they have. The Saints, Pelicans, RLSU masks, and what make these masks a lot different than most masks is the fact that it has a filter. That's right, the PM 2.5 filter that goes behind the nose clip of the mask. You slide it in there. It literally filters the air you breathe. That filter lasts about 3 months. And if you're interested in getting this type of mask, if you if you want to wear masks or whatever, and that's your thing to protect yourself and your family, go to getlifemask.com and put in the code at checkout, the Sports Coma, to get 10% off on your purchase. And just let the family members know before we go. Thank you, Tara. She says, great show. Thank you, baby. It wouldn't be much great without the family members being in the building. But just to let the family members know, we've been working on, family, several big projects I've been telling the family members about. The family members seeing in the slight changes in the show, the rollout of the commercials as we are, gathering more affiliates, and we'll start also having local businesses. So if you're a local business with a product or service and you want to reach thousands of people, you can advertise with the Pro Media Network and the Sports Coma. We reach out to a great many people, dedicated and faithful, hardworking people. If you're interested in advertising, please hit us. The link is in the description section for advertising as well. And that wasn't the news, but just to let the family members know that we're rolling out. Dun, 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 dun. Can you see that, family? The Sports Coma app. That's right, family. The Sports Coma app. We're in the building. The Sports Coma app is rolling out right now. It's available. The Sports Coma app. That's right, family. Is available on Google right now. It's available on Google Play Store. The iPhone app won't be available until next week, but that's right. The Sports Coma is in the building. We got the app now, and you can download the Sports Coma app. That's right, the Sports Coma app to your phone. Right now it's Android only, but the iPhone will be available next week. By Friday, will be rolled out. So the Sports Coma app is in the building, and if you open it up, the Sports Coma app, you can see it has all the latest content. It's the Pelican Post Game Report and all of the content that's available on the Sports Coma app. You can check it out. It's the Sports Coma, Pelican Post Game Report, Ring Kings Boxing, and all of the show's merch and WhoThatDaily.com, all attached into the app. So you can now never miss a show, and you can plug right in. So if you're not getting your notifications from YouTube, never mind them. Now you can get everything the PRO Media Network put out in the forms of an app. The Sports Coma app is in the building. Right now, you can go to the Google Play Store and download and listen to the Sports Coma on your phone today. But also let y'all know, man, like I said, the iPhone, if you got an iPhone, don't worry about it. I got you. Next week, we'll have that one by next Friday. Not this Friday, but following Friday, we'll have the Sports Coma app available for the iPhone as well. And on top of that, family, just to let the family members know, several big projects that we are also, not only that we have the apps going, that we got the Google app out right now. I'll make sure I have a family member to put that, one of the team members to put that link for the Google app in the maybe in the community section. So people who want to get on there, they can get on there and follow everything. I mean, you can have access to it and all that. Another thing I wanted to get with the family members about is also that we are going to be on the Sports Coma. The Pro Media Network is on Roku and on Roku and Fire Stick. That's right, Roku channels. The Sports Coma is called the Pro Media Network channels are going to be available on Roku and on Fire Stick. Just to let y'all know, several big projects we've been working, fam. We've been working our asses off. That's why I've been kind of not on my TSC Unleashed stuff like I was supposed to be. But these several big projects that we've been working with over the last many months, we've been pushing it through, working and doing everything we can do to complete it. But it's finally gotten there. And I've been kind of warning the family members about it. That yes, now Roku and Fire Stick, the Sports Coma, the Pro Media Network is going to be available on that, and it should be in the next 3 days. So I'll make sure I have all the links for y'all for when that goes final, but it's already been done, and the next 3 days we'll have the information. We'll share it with you. So don't forget, family. Feel free to go to the app to the Google Play Store and find the Sports Coma, the app. It's called Sports Coma, the app, with all the content on there. And then the iPhone app will be coming to you guys next week. We in the building. And like I said, family, support the platform, family. Support the platform. And that's what I'm telling you, family. We do a lot. We produce a 40 plus 50 something odd podcasts and from several different platforms. Pro Radio, well over 70,000 subscribers. I mean, not subscribers, listens, downloads, whatever you want to call it. And we continue to push on and push forward, family. So thank you. First and foremost, I'd like to thank all of you guys because of your support, because of what you're doing at the Patreon. We take $1 a month and we turn it into something great. That's why I always ask the family members, if you want to be, and you want to help out in a way, and sharing of the links on Facebook groups and stuff like that. It helps out as we are moving forward, as we continue to build. We have a vision, and that vision is pushing us ever so higher and further and closer to our goals. And we would never be there if it wasn't for you guys. So I've been kind of telling you guys for a while about it, kind of holding it to myself. But now you know, just to let the family members know. So I'd like to thank all beautiful Black and Gold family members for chiming in on this edition of the Sports Coma. Much love to you and yearns. And once again, thank everybody. Please hit the like button before you go. And listen, we'll see you tomorrow on the Saints versus the Panthers preview show, as we will break down the full-length show. I'll open up the phone lines again, and I will be coming at you guys at 5 o'clock, because it'll be at least a 3-hour show, because I'm going to open up the phone lines and allow more people to chime in and call as well. So once again, thank y'all. Thank you for the guests, my guests that chimed in today. Much love to you. Great commentary as usual. And I'll see you guys on Friday. Who that take?
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. #1 sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies and the vets, players you should look at. It's the Sports Coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game, party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the Sports Coma, all we know is say Super Bowl. Yeah.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.